better than we thought it would be. See, as long as you badmouth games like that, then you know you're going to be wrong, and you're going to get a pretty entertaining football game.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. Actually, it was a pretty good night of sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Padres game was fun. If you like baseball.
Didn't check that one out, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, why watch somebody who's one of the most fun players to watch in their sport?
Who's that?
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, I'm kidding.
Can we
I
kick him
know
off
that.
the show now?
I know who that is. I know who that is. Come on. It's the Padres, the third most popular baseball team in all of the state of California. Come on.
Yeah, and the best one. Maybe.
I think the Dodgers got something to say about that.
A's might too.
A's might have something to say about that.
And by the way, popular, they're not the third most. Maybe the Angels might be more popular than even the Padres.
Well, what about the Giants, too?
Yeah. I mean, Padres might be like the whatever it is. There are 5 of them. I was going to visit all the ballparks this April, so I should know. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there are 5 of them.
So the fifth most
popular. And they might be the 5th most popular. I think Ty mentioned this today, and he's like, when was the last time the Padres were good? And I said, you know what? I feel like they were in the World Series in '84 against the Tigers. I think I might have told Ty 85, but 85 was the Royals and Cardinals. So in '84, it was the Padres against the Detroit Tigers. And at that time, that was like, again, I always say 1984 was not only when Van Halen and Jump came out.
Okay.
But it also was when I first started watching sports. So it was Doug Flutie and the Hail Mary pass against Miami. It was the Tigers were in the World Series. It was Dan Marino's rookie, or second year that would have been. And so the Super Bowl run. So I remember watching sports. I was 7, and that's when it all started. And so I didn't remember watching the Red Sox then. I watched the Tigers play the Padres in the World Series. And so I remember that. But that was the last time I remember the Padres being good. Now, I might be missing a year between now and then. I'll have to look that up. But I don't remember the Padres being good. Obviously, Tony Gwynn and Trevor Hoffman, they've had some nice players, but they really have not been relevant, good, anything. And I always think of that relative to the Jags. Like all these franchises we talk to that have gone 20 years, right? 30 years. Like not even sniffing good. Like not even remotely good. Just been irrelevant franchises. And as difficult as it's been around here in Jacksonville the last dozen years, that's nothing.
Oh, yeah.
That's nothing.
You got teams like the Detroit Lions and, teams like the Cleveland Browns. Like, when's the last time they went to an NFC championship game or an AFC championship game?
Yeah, I mean, look at what's the Dallas Cowboys as good as they've been. See, it's a little different in that context. The Dallas Cowboys have been kind of exciting, interesting. They're always relevant. But I think the thing is like the Jags have won 2 more playoff games in the last 2 decades than the Cowboys have.
True.
And of course, you build a lot of equity when you win 3 Super Bowls in 4 years or whatever it was. So that's not apples to apples, but it's still worth bringing up that, as bad as the Jags have been, they still had more playoff wins than the Cowboys. Yeah. Which nobody, if you asked across the country, nobody would say, oh, yeah, I think you're right. Nobody would say that.
But they've also had a lot more competitive seasons than the Jaguars as well.
A lot more. And, of course, they're always on the headlines. The Knicks come into play here, right? I mean, Knicks haven't been good. I think I just saw.
Yeah, but in the past 10 years, though, I mean, when they had Melo, they went to pretty far, didn't they?
I don't know about far. They might have, far for them, maybe.
Let me see what we got.
Far for them might have been the postseason.
I could have swore they went to, the Eastern Conference Finals one year.
With Melo?
Let me look it up quick. Maybe I'm crazy.
I would say
that's
overall,
that's why we need Kuz here for our NBA news.
But I would say overall, the Knicks have felt like they've been, as much as a New York team can be irrelevant in terms of we've just dismissed you as bad.
Yeah.
The Knicks are that. I mean, they're a dumpster fire of an organization.
Yeah, I'm still looking. Keep talking.
I mean, they really are. I mean,
like
the New York Knicks. A lot of people wonder, hey, can the NBA wants the Knicks back? You need the Knicks. Do you need them? Yeah, they probably want them back, but do you need them back? I don't know. I mean, LeBron's carried the freight, and there have been a lot of players that have carried the freight of the NBA for a while without the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks have been, again, very irrelevant. I mean, the Cleveland Cavs have been more relevant than the New York Knicks, hands down, because of LeBron James, and many other organizations have been too. So it's always a reminder. It doesn't make you feel that much better. It's just a reminder that sometimes putting winning organizations on year after year or winning big is very difficult.
No, for sure.
And the Jets are another example of that. That was the stat I saw. Jets, I think they had a winning season in 2015, but if you go back like the whole decade, it's starting to get really ugly with the Jets record. And did you see the broadcast last night? I think they've had, what'd they say, 4 different general managers in 9 years. Just the inconsistency of their front office. Where around here, people say there's been too much consistency at times.
Yeah. So back in 2012, 2013, they didn't reach the conference finals. They reached the conference semifinals.
Okay.
And they lost to the Pacers, looks like, in a 4-2 series.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was their last little
2012,
sniff
2013,
of
which I assume was Carmelo. I think Stoudemire might have been there as well.
And now you don't even name players and coaches and years. And I know the Phil Jackson experiment, so maybe you do a little, but it's really all James Dolan.
Yeah,
He's
exactly. I mean, when he keeps getting the bad publicity, it makes that team look bad, and especially kind of the optics and everything of players speaking out against him. Like, yeah, the Knicks now are a dumpster fire, but like there was a time, and we kind of forget about it. But when Carmelo was there and Stoudemire was there, like I don't want to say they were a great team, but they were respectable.
Yeah, was that D'Antoni coaching them?
That I can't tell you.
It must have been, right? Didn't he bring Stoudemire over?
Sure, I'm sure, because
it
was before Phil Jackson.
Yeah. So it's really interesting in the context of what we're talking about. If you take like the so-called blue bloods, right? That's a college term, really. The Kentuckys, the Dukes, the North Carolinas. But if you take the blue bloods of sports in general, and you take the Dodgers and the Yankees, and you take the Red Sox and hockey, the Blackhawks and Red Wings and Montreal, Boston, you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
What's like the longest drought without those kind of those kind of franchises not being at the king? And I bet it's longer than people think. That's going to be my
check
point,
out check out the Toronto Maple Leafs, man. Last time they actually won a Stanley Cup, because keep in mind they're one of the originals, right? Yeah. And I can't remember what their drought is, but it's like legendary. In terms of like the last time they actually kind of sniffed success. Like they've had a couple seasons where they've had the best league, the best record in the NHL, and then they choke. So I think the Maple Leafs are up there as far as like being cursed, kind of like the Cubs were, obviously, before they won their big one.
Well, and I think that's the point. I mean, even these legendary franchises. I mean, the New York Rangers, until they won, right? It had been forever.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of back down.
So the last Stanley Cup for the Maple Leafs was back in '67.
Yeah. Wow. But there are a lot of teams and even big-time franchises worth billions and billions, and everybody wears their hats and jerseys that are like that. I mean, the Dodgers are like that. Dodgers are just knocking on the door now every year, so they've been very good. So they're not like San Diego. Like San Diego, how this conversation started, the Padres were like just a blip on the baseball radar. Well, now they got Fernando Tatis Jr. And this guy's fun to watch. I mean, legendary bat flip last night, which, by the way, I still can't believe the bat flipping and walking to first doesn't bother me because I'm more of a traditionalist. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of dig it, which, again, I'm in the middle here. I don't like the replay as much. I like all this tradition. I don't like guys getting picked off like the Milwaukee Brewers last night with down 3 runs. How do you get picked off in that situation?
They're ready to go home.
I don't love the fact that baseball has changed so dramatically. I don't mind some of the change, but I don't love the dramatic change. But I don't mind the bat flipping. And Fernando Tatis, quite frankly, if baseball does a good job, which they stink at, but if they do a good job, he will be right up there. He should be right up there, marketed with the Patrick Mahomes, with the you name Zion.
Okay,
right?
But that's not going to happen though, right?
Well, they need to figure out how to do it because he should be.
But that's not going to happen though, right? I'm just saying that's not going to happen. I mean, if Mike Trout is not a household name yet, and he plays in a bigger team than the Padres, there's no way this guy's going to be that big either.
Well, again, the trend says no. But you say this when we bring this up, and people say this, and they're right about this. Trout doesn't really want to be. He's not like this super personality guy. This guy, he likes it. He wants to be.
You play for the Padres, though.
Well, it doesn't matter. You play in big league baseball.
Yeah, I hear you.
And he can be kind of like this, I don't know about global icon, but he can be this global player where people know who he is, where he's from. And even in Japan and places that they really like baseball, Korea, they should know Fernando Tatis Jr. You can market this guy outside of San Diego, outside of California, outside of the NL West. And that's the job of Major League Baseball to figure that out. That's where they've really swung and missed.
Yeah.
And they need to do a better job of it. And I think you could make the case that, listen, Clayton Kershaw is one of the greatest of all time, but he doesn't want that. Mike Trout's one of the greatest of all time. He doesn't want that. Bryce Harper, he's a big star and has star potential. I don't know if he's one of the greatest of all time. I don't think that. But he doesn't really want that. You know, like he sometimes does. He's got like a toe in, but not he's all in on that. This guy wants it. He likes the attention. He brings the energy. He's young. He bridges the old and the new because his dad played in the league too. So I think this is the perfect guy to market if you can figure it out. They just need to hire a good marketing agency because Major League Baseball has sucked.
Yeah, he has to just go to the East Coast and play for the Yankees or Red Sox, something like that. Because at the end of the day, listen, like if I go on the street right now, I go, Manny Machado. Who does Manny Machado play for? I bet out of 10 people who are casual baseball fans will tell me the Dodgers. No one knows that Manny Machado, besides hardcore baseball fans, plays on the Padres. But when Manny Machado was on the Dodgers, he was like this big name. And it wasn't necessarily for his ball skills. It was for the arrogance. It was for kind of like the talking and back and forth. And obviously, you know, that they go to the pen and he does all those antics. Like, he's known to me more as Manny Machado, obviously the Dodgers player, if you're going to go back in time, the Orioles player, more than Manny Machado, the Padres player. Like, I felt like Manny Machado went to San Diego, by the way, making a lot of money and kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit.
Yeah, and again, Machado, like if you ask me, I forget about the Dodgers' little stint. It's more to me Baltimore is where he played. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. It's interesting. We got all into that off a Jets-Broncos game.
Yeah, we did.
That I thought was a pretty good night of television. I mean, it was – the only thing that would have been better is if we could have had a war of words at the end of that game with Greg Williams or Gase and Fangio because something happened there.
Yeah.
And obviously the big hits at the end of the game. But what is Fangio doing? Like this guy, I don't know, man. It's this twice. I don't even watch the Broncos a lot. And this is twice now. I'm like questioning Vic Fangio. Like, what are you doing? Why are you dropping back with 18 seconds to play? And then when it happens once, you do it again. You're up by 2 scores. There's no danger of you losing. Just go give it to – just hand the ball to him. And you know what the Jets are going to do? Because Darnold got beat up all game, they're going to take a freaking knee.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get the end of that game. That was bizarre.
No, and then it was really weird at the end when they just kind of walked off the field. Didn't, like, you know, even.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was.
That's because the shots that he took.
I know, man, but, like, it's just.
That's Greg Williams a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely Greg Williams, man. I mean, listen, how many penalties were there last night in terms of late? I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. And you could tell the game plan was to rattle Ripien or whatever. I mean, to really, like, get in his grill and heckle, you know, I mean, just basically make it feel uncomfortable. Didn't really matter because they won. They put 37 points on the board. So step your game up, New York Jets. But it was just. It was an interesting game, better than I thought it was going to be. A lot more high scoring, too, than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
By the way, I guess Melvin Gordon plays for the Broncos.
Now he does.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah. Well, a lot more high scored. I mean, it was unbelievable. I said yesterday here on the show, I was like, it's going to be 2016.
Yeah.
And it looked like that until like the fourth quarter. There was just a blitz of plays that happened, which made it an entertaining game. I mean, Desir had one of the most unusual games ever. Got beat, got picked on, had 2 really good picks. Rippon, like, good story. Mark Rippon, nephew of Mark Rippon, former Super Bowl champ, MVP, and he looked really good, and then he made some atrocious throws.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, how bad were those throws? I mean, to make those. So the whole thing was kind of interesting. And in the background, you know, it's funny. It's like the first part of that game, if you watch it, it's like Troy Aikman and Buck, Joe Buck, they were like trying to beef the game up a little bit, right?
Sure.
They were like, I know this is a snoozer, but we're forced to run this game. By the end of it, it was entertaining. Like, you could feel that it was an entertaining game, and there were storylines going on. Is Gase going to get fired after this game? Are they going to come to blows after this game? I mean, what kind of slop is this at the end of the game? They're not afraid to take shots at some of these teams, and they were doing it a little bit.
No, without a doubt. And it is kind of a little awkward, too, because keep in mind, Adam Gase and Vic Fangio, they come from the same spot in Chicago. I mean, they work together. I was there for that, you know? And to be fair, too, with Adam Gase, I liked Adam Gase in Chicago. He was a cool guy. I don't know what happened from the transition to Chicago going to Miami, where all of a sudden the eyes started popping out of the head and everything like that, and he became like this kind of this meme, if you will. I'm not sure what transpired from Chicago to Miami, then Miami to New York, but needless to say, I feel like this guy's going to be gone here in the next couple weeks or so.
Interesting that Peyton Manning went to bat for him in New York. And, that probably got him the job or helped him get the job. But even if you hear his players talk after the game, it's not like everybody in New York, they'll come out and
the
tell
ones that are there, though.
The ones that are there. The other ones have left, But, the out-the-door stuff is always easy to do. But Darnold kind of stood by him. I think Frank Gore did, too. I think some others as well. And it's just, how much of this is made up outside because of the eyes, because of his lack of success, because he looks kind of that arrogant guy. Some of these guys come across that way when they fail. I think Shanahan's like that. I think if Shanahan fails, he's going to come across as that prickly guy.
Are you talking Mike or Kyle?
No, Kyle.
Kyle, okay, yeah.
No, I think I think he's like an offensive genius, probably more so than McVay. I think he has done a great job. But I think when you fail, when you're doing well, it's fun, it's good, it's cool. But when you fail a little bit, it's like, this guy rubs me the wrong way.
Talking about that Mike Zimmer effect?
Oh, Mike Zimmer, but I'll give you the best effect of that is Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh, when he's winning, it's great.
Yeah.
When he's losing in San Francisco, they got rid of him as soon as they lost.
Sure.
It's probably a big, giant pain in the ass, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's fun when things are going well, but it's not the true color show when it's not. I mean, that's some of the guys across the league. And as long as you win, you're probably safe in that respect.
You obviously, you find out a man's true character and what they bring to the table when all the chips are down, right? When everyone's winning, everyone's going to be happy. But when you lose and you keep on losing and you face adversity, you find out what kind of people you are, and you're starting to see this a little bit with coaching now. When coaches like, for instance, Mike Zimmer, they're having a bad season. Obviously, expectations are not being met right now, and you're asked a simple question, and you respond with, arrogance and cockiness and entitlement. That's who you are. Okay, now I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's who you are as a person.
Yeah, and Zimmer, by the way, I thought Gase handled all the questions better than Zimmer did.
For sure.
Zimmer got one question, couldn't handle it. Gase was getting peppered with him after the game, and it's a lot more difficult being in New York, being 0-4. And I feel like he handled probably the post-game stuff a little bit better.
And listen, far be it for me to talk about, the ins and outs of head coaching, because I have no idea. But all I know is if you're having a bad season, you have to expect the tough questions. What do you think? People are just going to be your friend and do you a favor, not ask the hard-hitting questions? You have to be ready for those. You can't be if you're going to be throttled and you're going to be distracted by a hard question, then what's going to happen when you're down by 10 in the fourth quarter and you have to make a comeback? It's the same instance. So give me a break, Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer. I like that you're a little bent out of shape on the Mike Zimmer.
Because it's ridiculous, man.
It was bad. It was a bad moment for him. Yeah. I don't know Zimmer, but it was a bad moment.
I don't know him either. And listen, I respect his defensive mentality. I respect what he brings to the table. But when you have someone just trying to do their job in the media and you try to chastise them for just doing their job, what are we talking about here,
well, the greatest part about that, if you listen to the quote that he had this week when somebody asked him a question, they were just giving background this is the worst you've ever been. Minnesota's got off to in the first 3 games in the defense, and he's like, well, if you want to bring your opinions in or just ask the question. It's like, hey, dude, it's not an opinion. You're giving up 103 points in 3 games. That's a fact.
That's a fact. It's called a stat, sir.
A stat.
Yeah.
It says it. Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. We come back. We begin with the Jags and Bengals. Injury news is interesting. Maybe helpful for the Jags on 2 fronts, one hurtful and one a big giant question mark. So we'll see what's happening on the Jags injury front. Listen, we've talked Bengals, Jags quite a bit. Put a bow on that conversation. We also have our picks coming up. It's a big weekend of college football. College football's back, loads up the schedule, and we'll keep you up to date on some of the baseball stuff happening. I do have a thought or two on baseball. This shorter season is fun. Should we live and learn from it a little bit more? So long record books?
Oh, Brent, don't say that.
Should there be more consideration for it?
Coming from the guy who's so old school, doesn't want those robot umpires, and now you want to shorten the season?
I'll share an experience why I might say that. And that is on the way a little bit later on in the show. We also have high school football night. Can't wait. We love it on Fridays. Expanded coverage includes a 9 o'clock Blitz scoreboard show. That is on ESPN 690 social media channels tonight because we do have Game 2 of the NBA Finals on the radio side. But more on that and more on football, more on the Jags and Bengals coming up next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and mild today. Highs in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30. Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss Beard's BOGO Wedding Band Sale October 10th through the 18th.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Are you not sure if you should sell or rent out your current home? Hello, my name is Steve Seckler. I'm the broker-owner of Hometown Realty here in Jacksonville. For more than 20 years, my team and I have been helping homeowners like yourself make the informed decision of selling or renting. Unlike most agents, we don't want to just sell your home. We want to help you make the best decision for you and your family. So if your home is valued between $200,000 and $1 million, please give us a call so that we can do a detailed market analysis on the current rent rates as well as the current sale rates. So we will help you with whatever is best for you and your family. Please give us a call, 904-288-9293, or visit us at hometownrealtyjacks.com. Again, 904-288-9293 or hometownrealtyjacks.com. Looking forward to helping you make a great decision.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
Hey, boss, guess who I saw at the grocery store today?
I don't know. Elvis?
No, I saw your mom.
Ah, she doing good today?
Yeah, she's great. Said to say hello. Oh, and to thank you again for the Safe Touch security system you got her.
Ah, Safe Touch, the source of all my internal conflict.
Huh?
See, on one hand, as a cook, I hate Safe Touch security. But as a son, I love Safe Touch because they help protect my ma.
Yeah, she loves having the medical and panic buttons. Oh, and the two-way communicator's been great. She says Safe Touch makes her feel safe.
And so my personal tug-of-war continues. I hate Safe Touch. I love Safe Touch.
Well, love 'em or hate 'em, we still gotta stick to the Crooks Are Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. Unless it's Mom's house.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Let's say you have ED, male impotence, or maybe you suffer from PE and can't satisfy your partner. If you have either or both of these embarrassing conditions, Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution. Meet Dr. Rabinski, a specialist in men's health.
If you're experiencing ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications designed just for you. There's no pain and no surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center has patients lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. You'll see results on your first visit guaranteed, or your visit is free. And best of all, it's affordable.
For a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians, call 904-206-8105. We guarantee that you'll see results on your first visit, or there's no charge for your consult. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
There's a new modern patient-centered orthopedic practice in Jacksonville.
We believe that the patient pays money for a doctor and should be seen by a doctor.
Ortho Edge. They're getting the most technologically available medicine there is. Ortho Edge.
You're going to get a much better experience with your physician. We all see our patients.
Get the answers right away and more focused care on patients.
Find out more about us at orthoedge.com.
Ortho Edge are in the DePaul building attached to St. Vincent's Medical Center, Riverside.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, we appreciate it. But your boss has you working from home this week, so take us with you. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
Now, back to Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 and on your smart speaker.
Well, now it's 4th down, and Darnold is sacked. Brought down by Chubb. He gets another here tonight. And the Denver Broncos, with 2 minutes left and a 2-point lead, will take over in Jets territory as the defense for Vic Fangio makes a play.
Those are some big hits on Darnold, big hits on Rippon, big hits last night. I will say, we wondered about the crowd noise.
Yeah.
And what that would do to impact the viewing experience if you could feel the hits, meaning you could hear the hits. That has made a difference. Yep. I'm telling you, I've been watching the game at times, like with Steph and the kids, and it's like, ooh. Like, we never watch the game, and nobody ever goes, ooh.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the respect you have after watching, depending on what network you're watching on, because I think they either pump it up a little bit more or draw it back a little bit. But there have been moments. I mean, the one comes to mind? I think this might have been the moment. That's the DJ Chark when early in the game, 2 weeks ago against Tennessee, I think it was. Yeah, early in the game because they were on the road. And he picks up that first down and that helmet-to-helmet collision.
But he got right back up after that.
He got right back up, but it was like, I don't want to ever play this sport.
No, that one hurts you too, man. Like even though DJ Chark got back up, like there's no way he couldn't feel that a little bit, to say the least. So are you saying that your price tag to go on the field and play one play has gone up drastically now from maybe $5 million to $10 million?
I think yes. I think two more things on that front. Now, people who I've said this for the last 5 years around here, if you listen to me, and people don't believe me, you think I'm lying, and I'm not. And 3, I think there are more people that would join me in that discussion.
Yeah.
There are more people on my side of the aisle on the, you know what, you're going to have to pay me more than $1 million. Seriously, man. The whole thing here is, if you haven't heard, I've said it for years. You couldn't pay me $1 million to go play a series in the NFL.
Yeah.
You could, it wouldn't be enough. You got to remember, I'm okay. I'm somewhat athletic.
Sure.
I'm not that kind of athletic.
No, don't sell yourself short, man.
I've got 9 career points for the Jacksonville Giants.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Collegiate baseball player. What more do you want?
Come on. Yeah, I'm 20 years past that.
Hey,
I'm still
collegiate
scoring points for the
player,
Giants.
man. Put it on your Facebook status if you got to. You're good.
So, I think I could handle running around for a couple of moments.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
maybe even try to catch.
Yeah.
Throw.
Yeah.
Give me the pigskin right in the belly. Any of those kind of things.
Yeah.
I would absolutely get obliterated, and I don't think I would be at least what I am in my senses, in my head, and in my body for the remainder of my life if I did it. I genuinely believe that. You could not pay me $1 million for me to go into an NFL game for a series like last night, like you saw.
So here's the real question. What would cost more to you? Playing an NFL series or going 2 rounds with Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder?
I'd probably it's a great question, and I probably would go to the NFL.
Yeah.
And play.
Yeah. Because in the NFL, you could probably, you could break a sternum or a leg or something. If you box, you know where that's going to go.
Well, not only that, but there's a chance in a series they'll hand off to another guy, and I can just hang out by the hash mark.
That's a good point. Yeah, sure.
It's just you and that guy in the cage.
You know what's about to happen.
And I can only run around in a circle for so long.
That's why I said 2 rounds. Because 1 round, you could probably run away from him. 2 rounds, it might be a little harder.
Yeah, so
okay.
That's legit, and you're freaking crazy enough to basically do both.
Oh, yeah, we're all good, man. just wait till I start bull riding one day or something, man. I'm going to really get the trifecta going on.
I would definitely bull ride before all that, and that's
really?
great. Yeah, I would do.
Really?
I would ride a bull before I would play a series in the NFL.
Now you're insane. That's insane. You'd rather ride a bull than play a series.
I think so.
Yeah,
I've never given it a lot of thought, but I think so.
Obviously, you're gonna rock the hockey mask and the vest and everything. Yeah. But still, man.
See, here's the thing, man. You're gonna get hit by a 400-pound dude, or you're gonna get hit by a 2,500-pound bull.
Think very
about
much.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again,
that can step on you.
Listen,
that has horns. By the way,
I just weighed in today at 198 pounds.
Okay,
I figure that bull, because I don't have the great technique or anything, probably throws me some 15, 20 feet away.
Could.
So what's the chances of him landing on me after that?
I don't know, man. I've watched a lot of bull riding, and sometimes their hand gets stuck a little too long, and they're trying to get it. There's no way, man. You're crazy. Don't call me crazy. You're crazy.
There's always a part of me that's always wanted to be a cowboy more than be an NFL player too, though.
Yeah. Well, see, there's always been a part of me that wants to ride a bull, but I'm like, dang, man, just to say like I've ridden a bull before. But man, I'm talking like the real bulls, like the legit, like ticked off kind of bulls. There's no way. Those things are nasty.
I'm gonna think about that a little bit.
Oh, like for a segment, or just to think about it in general?
I'm just gonna think because I don't remember that being part of the equation before. Like I feel like we've had the boxing analogy,
maybe.
Like, and I definitely wouldn't do it. I think I'd rather do boxing than and get hit by Fury or whoever, Wilder, than go in the cage like you do.
Okay. Well, see,
like,
no,
yeah.
Go in the cage, because you can get choked out. You can get like knee barred. You may not get knocked out.
Yeah, that's true. I have been choked out before.
Yeah, and
so,
you tell that story.
No, I seriously have. That wasn't that painful. That wasn't bad, actually.
Yeah.
That was quick go to sleep.
That was Matt Hughes, right?
Yeah.
UFC legend Matt Hughes. That's awesome.
But I can't guarantee that, man. So
but hey, I can guarantee if you try to spar or box against Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, you're getting hit in the head.
I know, but once.
True.
Like I'm not surviving.
I'm
not surviving the round.
True.
So there I go.
Yeah, there I go. Yeah.
I think I would have more anxiety about the MMA match.
Okay.
In the cage.
Okay.
I don't know if it's maybe the cage.
Maybe it's just the cage. It's the optics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sound of the cage getting locked.
Again, you say it all the time, but like the MMA is in many respects safer.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
From the padding of the gloves to the constant hits of boxing to all those things. But it doesn't feel it. It doesn't look it.
I hear you.
At the end, when we watch your fight, Steph and the kids 5 times say, why does he do this?
Because it feels good when he stops.
It's just like, I don't know if you have like these visions of like street fighting and Kimbo Slice.
Of course.
And I think you relate it to the cage and the blood of MMA.
Yeah.
And while I get what you say about it's probably in reality safer for you,
it doesn't come across like that.
It doesn't feel like it.
Fair enough. I respect that. Yeah.
I mean, once in a while you get the Mike Tyson punch out, crazy jaw, like mouthpiece goes flying and all that stuff.
Spit goes flying like Rocky. Yeah.
Who was the guy in Mike Tyson punch out? His head would, the skinny one that Tyson would punch out?
Joe, glass jaw. What is? I'm tripping now.
It is. You got it. Though.
I'm gonna come into it in a second. Yeah.
Glass Joe.
Glass Joe.
Glass Joe. Thank you, man.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk Jags and Bengals. My goodness, we're getting thrown off big time.
Hey, it's Friday, Brent. Come on.
Yeah, it's Friday. Jags Bengals. Here's the injury report. Update on the Jaguars. Linder's not going to play again. Again, I told you this yesterday. This is a little weird because the explanation from Doug Marrone early last week, so now we're going almost 2 weeks ago. I understand it's only been 10, 11 days, but it was like, oh, yeah, no, he's not going on injured reserve. And so the way he said it, the tone of it, my interpretation was, okay, well, he'll probably miss this game. It's a short week. That makes sense. But he'll be ready to go on Sunday, and he's not. So it's a little surprising because, quite frankly, if he misses next week, then he could have gone to IR. Mm-hmm. You can miss three weeks. So we'll see how he's doing. And I do think Tyler Shatley comes into play here because I think they trust him. And so they trust Tyler Shatley to get the job done, and therefore let's get Linder as healthy as he can be. Let's not bring him back on 80%.
Yeah.
Let's get him to 90, 95% before we bring him back.
Listen, I think Brandon Linder is probably the biggest piece of that offensive line right now. He's a captain for a reason. But at the same time, I think the drop-off from Brandon Linder to Tyler Shatley, it's not that noticeable. I mean, like, I didn't watch the game last week and think, like, oh, man, like, well, Shatley's in now. Here we go. Like, I thought Shatley did a pretty good job, all things considered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought their offensive line struggled as a whole. I didn't notice.
But it wasn't just Shatley. Correct.
Yeah. That's fair. DJ Chark comes back.
Good to have him back.
Great to have him back. He's the number one wide receiver. I think there's such a trust factor. I think the hard thing to explain to people, do I think DJ Chark being out messed them all up on last Thursday? No, that's being dramatic. Mm-hmm. Do I think Gardner Minshew feels way more comfortable with DJ Chark on the field? I think absolutely. He wouldn't say it because he doesn't want to disrespect the other guys. But I think there's a comfort level. You've seen it since the day Gardner Minshew got on this football field for this team. He threw it to Chark. Mm-hmm. And it started with practice sessions last year. and I think that's continued. So I think the trust factor, especially to get back on track, is a big deal here for DJ Chark. One, because he's a talented guy. He's a Pro Bowl guy. That's important. But two, I think for the quarterback's psyche and maybe the offense's psyche to do everything you want to do.
Agreed. Absolutely. Listen, at the end of the day, yes, they have a lot of depth at the receiver position, but DJ Chark is the one receiver. And Gruden has even said it during training camp. Their goal is to try to get him situations to get him the ball. Now, I think the first couple games that he's been in, they've done an okay job of doing that, but haven't really featured him per se in the pass game. This could be a game where they obviously feature DJ Chark, and if it's going to be a close game, that's a guy you want catching the ball and obviously putting your team over the top.
Scott is with us. You got a little Gardner Minshew on DJ Chark. Here's a little thought from the quarterback.
DJ is a great player for us. He's proved over the last 2 years that he can, really change games. Anytime, you have a receiver that can win one-on-one and is consistent and, that always gives you some comfort and, calms the mind a little bit knowing that you have somebody that can win one-on-one every time. But we feel that way about a lot of our guys, and we'll continue to try to build those relationships.
So that is Gardner Minshew. Okay, I have a question for you because Geno Atkins is going to miss this game for the Bengals. So what's bigger for the Jaguars offense? DJ Chark coming back or Geno Atkins missing the game for the Bengals?
Oof, good question.
I kind of liked it myself, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah, listen. Well, and keep in mind, too, Mike Daniels is also out, which is huge. So Mike Daniels actually was their other interior guy, and he was their other run stopper. He's out for this game, too. Got hurt last week in Philadelphia. I think Geno Atkins being out is a bigger deal because this defensive line right now in terms of stopping the run has been struggling. Now, Mike Daniels has been trying to pick up the slack a little bit from Geno Atkins. Well, he's gone now, too. So, essentially, I have no idea who's playing in the interior right now for the Cincinnati Bengals. Geno Atkins, I've always said on this show, I think he's one of the most underrated players in all of NFL, any position, one of the most underrated guys. He's just, he's a quiet dude, goes about his business, and is a very dominant three technique. I've stated the importance all the time on this show of just how important a three technique can be. When Gunter said that he was going to, he didn't really say he had no choice. He wasn't going to play this season. I said that was probably be the biggest loss of the entire season. And people underestimate just how important that three technique can be. Obviously, Geno Atkins, one of the best three techniques in the game. The Bengals are going to miss him dearly.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to go with Chark here, though. I think being added just because I don't think the Cincinnati defense is that good. I think they're better than people think. I've said that for months now and really this week, but I don't know if he's that. I don't think they're that good. So one guy's not going to make that much of a difference.
I hear you.
But it certainly helps. I mean, those are two things that help the Jaguars offense going in this game. That was really the point of the question.
Correct.
But I do think having Chark back, I just think what we were saying, their comfort level there and what they can run off him, how dynamic. See, when we would say, okay, what guy's dynamic, we'd say Laviska Shenault, so you can do all these things. Mm-hmm. Well, we'd also say maybe James Robinson, you can do these things. You can trust him in the backfield. I get it. But you still want to have that number one weapon to be able to do these other things. So I don't think Chark comes to mind as a guy that you do all these variations with on offense. But I think much like the running attack often that coordinators will talk about, everything feeds off that run. Well, I think when you have a number one wide receiver, a lot of things feed off that guy because there's a tension on him.
No, I mean, and I agree with you, right? You see the same thing right now with the New Orleans Saints and Michael Thomas, right? That he's been out. Drew Brees has kind of been a shell of himself. I was the first one to say, though, last week that Thursday night game where DJ Chark was out, the Jaguars wouldn't miss him at all because you have guys like Shenault, Chris Conley, and Dede Westbrook, who we thought was going to play probably a little more, that can fill in that void a little bit, fill in that role. Well, that offense looked kind of out of sorts a little bit, whether that was DJ Chark related or not, who knows? But just to prove my point with Geno Atkins, I just feel like there are ways that you can, I guess, make up for the lack of DJ Chark, right? Whether you get Chris Thompson involved more in the pass game, whether, you obviously get Shenault involved more in the pass game. Like, I understand. Like, Chark is the number one receiver, and I get that. But at the same time, I think you can make up for that a little bit in the pass game. You can't make up for Geno Atkins and what he does from a three technique. You can't just all of a sudden, all right, we're going to blitz every play, something like that. So I just think in terms of replacing a guy, and once again, no disrespect to DJ Chark because he's a Pro Bowler for a reason, but I think what Geno Atkins does on that defense, on that team, there's no replacing that.
The Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers now have a home on the schedule as they'll take a bye week. Who else had impacted some of the details of that? We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the NFL landscape going into this weekend. Who's it a big week for? because I feel like it's a huge week for the Jags.
Yeah.
And so are there other teams in that same view? Like, hey, if we don't win this one, we're starting to look at the long view of the season and say it might be better to be 2-14 or a team that needs to win to kind of stay ahead of the chains, if you will, stay ahead of the schedule, which I thought last week was that kind of game for the Jags. I felt like it was important to stay ahead so we don't ask these kind of questions about the Jags. Well, here we are. We're asking these kind of questions about the Jags, and I just think it's a pivotal game. I'm not over-dramatizing it. I really do think if you start looking ahead, if they lose this game, what you start thinking about versus if they win this game, what you start thinking about. It is polar opposites. Who else in the NFL is kind of in that same boat? And the latest on the Titans and Steelers situation. Coming up next, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Week 4 of the NFL got underway last night as the Ophers battled to see who would remain winless. In the end, the Broncos prevailed over the Jets 37-28, despite the fact that they threw 3 picks with second-year practice squad quarterback Brett Rippon. He is the nephew of Washington Redskin great Mark Rippon, had his first start and first win last night. Here he is after the game.
You know, it was definitely a long week. It felt like it, for sure, even though it was a short week. But you know, it was great to get out there and get my first experience in an NFL game. And, you know, I'm really proud of the guys for, you know, fighting through all the adversity tonight to get the win.
Doc Rivers wasn't out of a job long. The 76ers gave the former Clippers coach a 5-year deal. And speaking of the NBA, Game 2 of the Finals is tonight. If you're working from home and want to listen to ESPN, tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
The ride you want, the savings you need. Oh, and when it comes to credit approval, almost everyone gets approved. Sounds like it's time to get it all and get to Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Finding the best ride starts with big-time selection. And at Arlington Toyota, you'll find over 750 new and pre-owned on the lot every day. Right now at Arlington, shop over 100 quality pre-owned cars to buy at $0 down and just $199 a month. Looking for a truck or SUV? Arlington's got 50 quality pre-owned trucks and SUVs to buy at $0 down and $269 a month. With Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. Now, when I say get it all at Arlington, I mean it, because you'll get a 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Just another way that Arlington goes the extra mile for you. Get it all when you shop pre-owned at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our Best Wellness program, and welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
Are you not sure if you should sell or rent out your current home? Hello, my name's Steve Seckler. I'm the broker-owner of Hometown Realty here in Jacksonville. For more than 20 years, my team and I have been helping homeowners like yourself make the informed decision of selling or renting. Unlike most agents, we don't want to just sell your home. We want to help you make the best decision for you and your family. So if your home is valued between $200,000 and $1 million, please give us a call so that we can do a detailed market analysis on the current rent rates as well as the current sale rates. So we will help you with whatever is best for you and your family. Please give us a call, 904-288-9293, or visit us at hometownrealtyjax.com. Again, 904-288-9293 or hometownrealtyjax.com. Looking forward to helping you make a great decision.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com. Hey everybody. This is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Hi, this is Annika Sorenstam, and I'm a World Golf Hall of Famer, and you're watching Action Sports Jax.
Some words of encouragement, of course, but that would be some words said to him once I get to him, you know. But it's always gonna be love with me and him.
I know who this one is. Yes,
between me and him.
Yes, I know who it is, and you don't.
Hold on.
Yes, I know who it is.
Give me a second.
Shot clock. Hit that buzzer, Scott. Shot clock.
Do I get a guess?
Guess.
It's gonna be love between me and him.
Yes, I know who it is. And Brent's choking. Let's go. Yes.
I think it's the NBA. Is it NBA?
No, that was NFL.
NFL. Yes, I know who it is.
All right, I give up.
Hey, wait, Scott, is he a Jaguar?
He is now.
Chase on.
That's it.
Burrow, very good. That was good. I was not going to get Chase on.
Let's go. Yeah, former teammates, man.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was Chase on about Burrow, and this is Burrow's response.
Oh, interesting.
It's my job to make that guy miss and make a play. You know, I don't get paid to take sacks. I get paid to make plays, and so that's my job.
Probably had a cigar in his mouth, too, when he was saying that, didn't he?
You know, I don't say this about too many people because, I've been in this business for a while, and I was the guy that looked 12 for a long time. But Joe Burrow, seriously, he in his press conference the other day, he has his ball cap on, and he looks like he's 12.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only, 22, 23?
He's young.
But he really looks like, holy cow, he looked young.
Yep.
Like, really young. You know, like we have Bortles around here, young quarterback. He looked older. Like, Gabbert, it was a young quarterback. You could tell he was young, but he looked his age. Like, he didn't look like super young guy.
Sure.
And Minshew doesn't look like he's 13, right?
No, not
now with all the facial hair and everything going.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow seriously looks like he just walked out of a Pop Warner game.
No, I agree with you, man. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, you're right.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
That was a good one, too. I could have sat here all day.
I know, man.
And I don't think I would have got that.
Yeah.
A little bit of that is I don't know if I've now heard Chase on it a lot, but I don't know if it jumps out at me.
Yeah.
Like I got Allen Robinson the other day because I know A-Rob.
You nailed it. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I heard it for 4 years around here, and then I've heard it from more years since.
Well, see, I thought it was like Eifert. I'm like, it's too much bass in his voice to be Eifert. And then I'm thinking like, well, former teammate, college, LSU, there we go.
Hey, who is let me rephrase that because that's some bad English I was about to have going. I was going to try to just power through, but it's not going to work.
It's me. It's okay. I can handle the bad English. I specialize in bad English.
Who has the most pivotal game in the NFL this early in the season?
Excluding the Jaguars, obviously.
Yeah, well, and I don't know if the Jags would even qualify as the most. I think it's a huge game for the Jags.
Sure.
But are there other teams, like give me one or two or maybe even a third, is like, okay, this is big time. Now this directs their season.
This week.
I think there's one glaring matchup.
There's one glaring matchup to me as well. And let's see if we can mind mouth here a little bit. We're doing so good yesterday with the ribs.
We did.
Let's see if we can go 2 for 2
ribs
today.
And golf, by the way. Don't leave out the golf.
Sorry, and the golf as well. I'm taking the Vikings and the Texans.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's always got to go. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we're doing this thing kind of like this fishing segment on Countdown to Kickoff Sunday morning on TV. You can check it out 11:30 on CBS 47.
Segment?
Well, we're going to do like a graphic where it's like who's tanking, right? So we're going fishing in the tank for one of the teams. And we got to pick the teams.
Yeah.
If Minnesota loses this week, I might put them down for tanking. Because Houston's not going to tank. They have their quarterback.
Yeah.
So you got to be really questionable about the quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, Minnesota could be there'd be an outside chance to regroup the whole thing and say, you know what, we ain't winning with Cousins. Sure. I know we're paying him a lot of money, but we'll figure it out. We'll trade him away. Look, Jags got rid of Foles. Somebody will get this guy.
Yeah, but hang on, though. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Yes, the Jaguars traded for Foles. Thank you, Chicago Bears. You did us a solid with that. But we're talking about Kirk Cousins right now, who's got $21 million on this base salary next year and then $35 million in 2022. You think a team's going to take that on in a trade?
I would say at the moment, no, but show me the same. That's 21 and 35.
35,
Okay.
2022.
What's the next 2 years on Nick Foles? This year and next year.
All right. I mean,
When you can
give me-
find
yeah,
out.
give me a second.
Don't worry, I
yeah.
can talk.
All right.
We can play music. I can stretch with the best of them here in the biz.
Stretch it out, man. Stretch it out. Just don't pull anything. All right. So Nick Foles, we have this year. He's okay. So next year, $4 million base salary, and then with the potential out of 2022 of 16. I'm so confused, Brent. You got to read this for me, man. You're asking a lot of me here.
Yeah, his base salary is 4 and 4, but
then you
I
have
guess
to read that fine print.
Yeah, the dead cap is 17 and 10, so he doesn't have nearly the big numbers.
Not
This
even
isn't a
close.
good example.
Yeah.
So
I
totally
win
different.
then. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, so you're right about the dollars.
Yeah.
But the bottom line being, in this climate, if you think Cousins is pretty good, but somebody is going to give up on him, would they take a $20 million and a $35 million quarterback? They might. Somebody might. I don't know who, because a lot of people have their quarterbacks.
True.
I think it's far-fetched. Keep it in the context.
But it makes sense, though.
If you're 0-4 in Minnesota and you have Green Bay, who's 4-0, and Chicago, who, let's say they win or lose, they're 3-1 or 4-0, you ain't going anywhere. Not in the NFC. So could you start saying, you know what, Zimmer, Cousins, this stuff ain't working.
Yeah.
We gave them a chance. They couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And now look, this is a mess. Could they do that? I don't know. It's an outside chance. Sure, the Jets, the Giants, all those other teams are likely. But the point being in our conversation is not about tanking so much. It's about this is a pivotal game.
Yeah.
Because Minnesota's either in or out after this week. They might not be tanking, but they're either in or out.
Sure.
Houston, you know how I feel about Houston. Houston loses this game, and I think I'm going to be right. I think Bill O'Brien ain't making it through the season. That's my prediction this year, and I don't think he is. And now they're 0-3, and it's a tough schedule. It's not even that they're playing as awful as some teams, but it's a tough schedule. Well, if they lose at home to Minnesota against 0-3 Minnesota, well, people are going to start talking.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Watson, quite frankly, given the money this offseason, hasn't played great.
Yeah.
You paid him to beat those teams, or at least stay close to those teams. Hadn't really been the case. Well, last week wasn't bad. But
Listen, at the end of the day, let's be honest. Right now in Jacksonville, the Jaguars are 1-2. We don't have it that good as well. But to be fair, though, I'm excited for this game against the Vikings and Texans because something gold's going to come out of it. Either Mike Zimmer will descend more further into madness, or I can go on Texans Twitter and just read the reactions when you guys go 0-4 and you guys let go of Hopkins. Like, it's a win-win situation for me, at least. Like, whether the Jaguars win on Sunday, we'll find out. But at least the little silver lining of this whole thing is the fact that either Mike Zimmer descent into madness or Houston Texans Twitter.
I'll give you 4 more teams that these are almost must-win games for, okay?
Okay.
The Atlanta Falcons Monday night. They go to
Packers, though, right?
They go to. I know. I'm just saying. But they go to 0-4, man.
I hear you.
Eagles.
Oh yeah, good call.
They go to 0-3-1. Now I'd say they
Brent.
probably are less of that because the East doesn't look good. Nobody's running away right now.
True.
But still, you go to 0-3-1, you're probably doomed.
Well, let me ask you this too: what happens with Carson Wentz as well? Like,
Well-
did we start the Carson Wentz rumblings?
Well, you can rumble all you want. The bottom line is
You paid him.
And
Kirk Cousins, though, Brent.
Somebody
Kirk
had a great
Cousins.
tweet. I think it was Field Yates. Maybe it was, I don't know who it was, but somebody had a great tweet, and they put like the marquee games of the week, and Philadelphia and 49ers were one, and they put Nick Mullins' picture up instead of Carson Wentz. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That does say a lot about it, right?
The disrespect.
The fact that they put Mullins instead of Wentz
The
up there.
disrespect
It wasn't
right now.
handsome Jimmy G.
No.
It was Nick Mullins. No offense. I mean, Nick, you might be a good-looking guy. I don't know. But Carson Wentz, how far have you fallen when you don't make the list over Nick Mullins?
That's a rough one, man.
All right, 2 other ones, okay?
Okay.
Huge game. Cowboys. The noise will get big. 1-3.
True.
Losing at home.
Pretty good. I mean, the Cleveland team.
I know.
I could see them winning.
Just saying, we're talking pivotal matchups.
I hear you.
This could change the direction of the season. Noise gets really big for Dallas.
Yep.
The last one I give you is, I know this looks like a gimme game, but the Saints better come to play against Detroit.
You're not lying.
Detroit
I was going to go
easily
here
could
too.
be 2-1.
I was going to go here too.
And if the Saints don't come and play,
can you imagine Saints 1-3?
Well, I can't imagine 1-3 and Drew Brees not looking good again, because that would be a problem in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas comes back, and but
also playing in Detroit where he plays a lot worse, it seems like, on the road than he does at home.
Well, and let's bring up the other point. I mean, they're playing in the Bucs division.
Yeah.
The Falcons, for them, fortunately, aren't doing much Carolina, so it's not like they don't have a they could be 2 games back behind Tampa if they lose this game.
Sure.
So, and by the way, you're a bunch back in wild card. It's too many good teams. You're not going to get a wild card if you jump off 1-3 to start the season.
But regardless of that, though, it's still expectations, right? Like, I mean, I have them going to the Super Bowl, right? Like, I think this could be a good team. Yeah, exactly. So
it's a big game for them. So those are about 6 teams, 5 games that I think are massive. I think around here, I don't think anybody around the country would say Jacksonville's in that conversation. I do feel the Jags are in that conversation based on which direction this season could go after a Week 4 game. Hey, want to know roll call, right? It's Friday.
Let's get it.
Where are you listening from? Where are you watching from? All over the country? What city in Florida? What state around the country? We're going to talk a little college football, maybe about your college football team when we come back. Florida State, Florida, huge one for Georgia against Auburn. A little college football on the way next on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Hey, boss, don't you just love this time of year? No. Come on, the weather's changing, football season's here.
I don't like anything in 2020, okay?
Fair enough, but Halloween will be here before you know it.
True. That's always a good night for us crooks. Nobody gives a second look to our disguises.
Yup. All we gotta do is make sure we pick houses without Safe Touch security and we're golden.
Just mentioning Safe Touch security puts me in a foul mood.
I know. All those houses off limits to us crooks because of Safe Touch.
Yeah, they got their 45-second response time, the two-way communicator.
No freedom-loving crook messes with a Safe Touch house.
Exactly. It's why we stick to the Crooks Are Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Hey! Now there's one thing that's not upside down this year.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number LVA 4188.
It's a busy time right now as the kids head back to school. COVID-19 is still lingering and flu season is right around the corner. Clean air and home comfort have never been more important. Clean air equals healthier air. Your friends at Bold City Heating and Air offer duct sanitation and air purification, meaning not only will your Bold City Heating and Air be chilly cold, but also free of any microbacteria or nasty viruses that may try to make your home their home. Never fear what you can't see again. For only $499, a Bold City Heating and Air sanitation and purification package will give you peace of mind knowing your family is breathing fresh, clean air. Let the team at Bold City Heating and Air take care of your air and comfort. Be bold with COVID and flu season and sanitize your ducts for only $499. Simply with a call to Bold City Heating and Air at 904-379-1648. That's 904-379-1648. Or visit boldcityac.com. Bold City Heating and Air. Be bold and stay cold.
I'm here to translate for a beautiful lab mix named Maggie. She's adopted. Maggie wants to tell you about Bobs for Dogs from Skechers. Maggie says that for every pair of Bobs sold, Skechers will make a donation to the Petco Foundation. And that they've already saved over 1 million sheltered pets, including dogs. And now you can find Bobs at over 500 Petco stores. Thanks, Maggie. Bobs for Dogs from Skechers. Available at Petco, Skechers, and wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sure thing, we can help you with your wipers. If yours are squeaking or streaking, it's probably time to replace them. We've got great deals on wipers that can stand up to any weather. Right now, you can get a $10 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2 Rain-X Quantum wiper blades. And with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup, you can get them fast. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Lennox. Marlins and Cubs at Wrigley today for Game 2 of their National League Wild Card Series. Sixto Sanchez, Yu Darvish right now locked up in a pitcher's duel. Game scoreless in the 6th inning. Cubs left the bases loaded against Sanchez in the home 5th. Marlins can pull off the sweep with a Game 2 victory today at Wrigley. Game airing on ABC television, available on ESPN radio affiliates. Game 3, Eagles Padres first pitch 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN TV and ESPN Radio. The game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Tennessee Titans, which was postponed from Sunday after an outbreak of positive coronavirus tests within The Titans organization now rescheduled for Week 7 on October 25th. The Steelers and Baltimore Ravens game will be moved from October 25th to November 1st. Washington will be without rookie defensive end Chase Young when they host the Ravens Sunday, ruled out with a groin injury. Game 2 NBA Finals tonight from Orlando. Lakers took Game 1 in convincing fashion on Wednesday night. Coverage underway 8:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC Television, ESPN Radio. The tip scheduled for just after 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Coming up Monday, we look ahead to Monday Night Football. Can Aaron Rodgers continue his resurgence? And the Falcons look to cool Dan Quinn's hot seat at the frozen tundra. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Monday, 6 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar Levine Studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Keep the same thing, you prepare for whoever's out on the floor. 75 guys in the opposing jerseys on the floor, and they're all dangerous. No matter who's in the lineup, no matter what the name is, you have to approach it like they all can beat you, as a unit. And as individuals, they're on the floor for a reason. So we understand that we will have a game plan, no matter who's out on the floor. But that's not for us to worry about. For us to worry about is how we approach the game, coming to game 2, and how we continue to work our habits and try to be as great as we can be throughout 48 minutes.
Can you go 2 for 2?
You got any brain busters in this one?
This doesn't count.
Oh, man, I'm going to go TJ McConnell. No, let's go LeBron James. Brent, come on, man. James.
Some of them don't count in the competition.
Obviously. This one doesn't count. Too obvious.
It'd be like trying to recognize President Trump or John Gruden.
Yeah,
John Gruden might be tough, actually.
Yeah, well, and I feel like, Frank Caliendo could probably do a pretty good Donald Trump as well.
Yeah,
so
probably
that would be maybe a little trickier than you think.
It would be so much fun if we could talk politics, which, we could, but I don't want to.
I know.
But, we talked politics
do you not
in
like
the break.
the ratings, though, Brent? I feel like if you get on one side.
I don't know. I think you could antagonize
and
create. Yeah. But I think the people that listen to us wouldn't want to hear it.
Plus, it'd be fabricated.
And we are loyal to our millions and millions.
Thousands of millions. Thousands of millions is what I was going with. Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah. So, but goodness, I could have a field day. It would be fun. I was thinking of it the other night coming off.
Brent, come on. Who are you talking to right now?
I still don't understand. If you talk politics all the time right now, and that's your thing, I'm sure that was the Super Bowl the other night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That 24-hour span.
Yeah.
And maybe even now, a couple of days later. But I still think it's you're missing just this 30,000-foot view.
Mm-hmm.
The people are too entrenched. The people that talk about politics on a daily basis, they're so entrenched that they're almost blinded by everything.
For sure.
They're kind of locked into what they believe in or what they talk about or their side or their base or their whatever. So, I think what we miss in the political realm is right now in our landscape is that 30,000-foot view.
Like a Yankees fan? They're missing the whole rest of the league?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Read the room, Yankees
I like
fans.
This guy.
Yeah. Read the room. Yeah.
So, but if you need somebody like me to talk about it. You know why? Because I haven't paid attention to a lick of it.
There you go. Yeah.
So I can't be bothered with all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then I watch it and then I have some observations and I think those are the kind of dumbed down observations that we need to flatten this thing out.
Yeah.
It's when I want to know something and I'm not too entrenched in it, I ask Ty and Kaylee.
Sure.
Because they're too innocent to know all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Even at their age. They're a good barometer.
I like that.
To almost get the truth sometimes.
I like that.
So, I'm that guy. I'm the 15-year-old that doesn't know anything about politics.
Man, I can't wait till my son gets a little older I can do that to him. Because right now it's just,
I've always used
Sesame Street.
If you wanted to use kids as the barometer of it, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bring a little bit of that into baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great thing when you talk in bigger picture stuff and you ask, now listen, one kid, like my kid or whatever, doesn't necessarily describe everybody.
Yeah.
But you actually get this different view that you pretty much, you don't want to admit because you're well, I'm 43 and you're 15, you little turd, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
I mean, like I had to just describe to Ty how to sign for a FedEx package.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if he legally can. But
I doubt it, man. Yeah, you'd be like an adult to do that?
I don't know.
No,
Maybe
but,
mom might have been home. But
I got you.
It's just so that's where I come from, the political world. Politics is so crazy right now. And
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I'm like ignorant about a lot of it because I've just tuned so much of it out, which is a shame. Like we're trying to get people to vote. The other night kind of put me on like almost like a, you don't even want to say it, but it's like, don't you ask yourself looking at the other night, like, why vote?
Yeah. No,
but I guess it's more reason to vote.
Listen,
really, in reality.
When it comes to politics, like, I mean, I follow it pretty closely, and much to the chagrin of my wife, I mean, I watch both sides. Like, I'll watch CNN, and I'll watch MSNBC, and I'll watch Fox News, and I'll spend a good amount of just absorbing the information and seeing their side of it. But it's not something I would ever want to chase as opposed to like talking about on a daily basis, just because it's just to me it's way too much energy. You know, I'd rather be a little more lighthearted. And like even during that presidential debate, like it was my plan originally because listen, right now cloud is very high in terms of what you tweet about the presidential debate. Oh, that's retweets all day, man. Like that's brand building 101 right now. You know what I'm saying? And I put one tweet out. I'm like, I saw some of the responses. I'm like, you know what? I'm all good. Like, I was a smartass for a minute. That's what I wanted to be. I made some people laugh. Some people got a little offended. It is what it is. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to tweet this whole thing out, for the entire duration. So it's just not my style. I just get in, I get out, and then I sit back and watch the chaos unfold.
Yeah, it's wild. But it's funny because we're talking about it in the break, and it's, I don't know. It's fun to talk about, I think. It's become a sporting event.
Yeah.
That's more and more to think about. We said the debate has, but I just think the whole thing is the sporting event. And I don't know if politics felt like that. I mean, like in the 80s, say, or in the early 90s. I don't know if it felt like that.
That's because, and I think the transition from the 80s or even the 90s, like when I was a kid coming up, to now, it's the fact that information is everywhere. And when information is everywhere, you pick your own side. And when you pick your own side, then you support that side, right? Like whether it's like you're an Eagles fan, a Chiefs fan, like you rock your jerseys, you rock your decals, you rock all this stuff. And it's like us versus everybody else. And that's kind of what I feel like politics has turned into a little bit, where like you're locked in on your side, you're locked in on your team, and you're trying to go to the Super Bowl.
How irresponsible of an American am I in reality? To not be locked into politics?
I mean, that's your prerogative, man.
But I feel like there's an irresponsible nature to that, right? Like we're supposed to vote, right? We're supposed to know and be knowledgeable about what to vote. But I'm telling you, they have like removed me from the conversation because of the tone of the conversations, or what I believe is a lot of, it's a one side or the other, or some people I would say brainwashing a little bit, or the propaganda, if you will, or whatever it might be. I have views on it, but the actual issues, I don't see. I should probably do deeper dive. Like that's my job as a citizen.
And listen, and that falls on you a little bit too, because you have to do your own homework. You have to figure out the things for yourself. Whatever side you stand on, you got to figure it out for yourself. To me, it's like this. Like the reason why I'm so, I guess, engulfed in it and why I follow it, it's because like to me right now with what's going on, this is like the ultimate like documentary or movie. Like you remember how big Tiger King was, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you haven't seen Tiger King? You haven't seen Tiger King? What do you go see it right now? What are you doing? And now I'm starting to feel like The Social Dilemma, right? That documentary.
Yeah.
That's what that's starting to turn into now. Like, oh, you haven't seen The Social Dilemma? You haven't seen it? You got to check it out, man. It's going to change your whole way of thinking. To me, politics is like that times infinity, where it's like you have to be ingrained in it. You have to know what's going on, because if you're not, and you miss out on the election, you miss out on voting, you're gonna miss out on probably the biggest season finale of all time, and you're gonna have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, I'm suckered in though. I got the 2.5 episodes of Tiger King, and I watched the Social Dilemma. Yeah, and I've been pumping up The Social Dilemma.
You have been. I'm not saying that's wrong, man. Do you?
Well, I've watched all 10 episodes of 2020 so far this year, and I got to tell you, I have no idea what the hell's going on anymore.
Well, hey, Scott, here's the thing, man. Season 10's it just started, and we're off to a fantastic start. What's season 12 going to bring us? You know what I'm saying? We still got like 2 more seasons left to go.
I couldn't do an hour of this, though. Politics talk. I couldn't do it. I couldn't handle everything that would come back at us.
Yeah.
Probably. So we'll talk sports.
Let's get it.
We didn't mention about the Titans-Steelers game. There's really not a lot to report here. We knew it was postponed. Titans-Steelers will be moved to Week 7 And then that Steelers-Ravens game will be bounced to week 8, I believe it is. The bye for the Titans-Steelers happens this week. And then the Baltimore bye, who was supposed to be on week 8, gets bumped to week 7. And what everybody said, it was the perfect scenario. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
This was an easy fix. This was an easy Band-Aid to this kind of messy situation. But it's still a messy situation. I told you my concern about this was that there were continued to be positive tests. It wasn't a Tuesday, that's it. It was Tuesday, then one more Wednesday, then another 2, I think, or one Thursday. Yeah. And now we have more this morning. That's the big red flag now. That becomes an issue because how many days out? I don't know that time frame. Like, are we going to look up next Tuesday and still be getting positive tests? Well, now you might affect 2 weeks in a row.
That's exactly where I was going to go right now. So 2 more players today so far have tested positive, according to Adam Schefter. If this trend continues, because the quarantine time is what? Isn't it 3 weeks or 2 weeks if you test positive? Or is it, if you test negative, then you're good?
Well, if you test negative, I think it's amount of tests.
Okay.
So you have to clear it with two tests.
Okay.
But I think those each have to be 3 days apart, if I'm not mistaken. I know they're getting tested daily. So
Sure.
I think it's a solid, even if you test out fine, I think it's almost a week worth of time. Typical quarantines have been 14 days, just about everywhere else. But daily testing does continue in the NFL.
So regardless of that, and let's just say that maybe some players haven't tested positive yet, but they will. Well, yeah, now you're putting another week in jeopardy. And if that's the case, I think they play the Bills, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is the next week.
The following week, yeah. So you play the Bills, and let's say that game gets scratched. Now what are we talking about? How do you make up 2 games in an NFL season? And then I keep in mind, it's not only the Tennessee Titans, but it's going to have a direct domino effect of every other team in the NFL. I don't have the answer for it. I wish I did, but I don't want to visualize the Titans missing 2 games in a row, and we're sitting here wondering, well, now what do we do? But it could very well possibly happen here.
Yeah, let's shift over.
That was some good English. Very well possibly happen.
It could. I think Stuart might pop up here in just a bit. Talk a little high school football, our game of the week. We got the Friday Night Blitz coming up tonight. But before we get to that, let's talk a little college football. Gators looked awesome last week on offense.
What is this, a Big 12 team you're talking about here?
It looked like a Big 12 game.
Yeah.
And which was entertaining. It was a highly entertaining game. So take the good and bad of that, but it was a highly entertaining game. Do they look that good against South Carolina? Is that, to click on all cylinders, was that more, I don't say more Ole Miss, but was that a little bit Ole Miss? Now you're facing Will Muschamp, who usually has a defense, so they did give up, 41, I think it was, to Tennessee. So, but the guy can coach defense. We know that. I don't know what else he can do. I don't know how great he is at all the other stuff, but he's a defensive mind. Do they come back down to earth a little bit? I don't expect Trask to throw for 6 touchdowns and Pitts to catch 4.
Yeah.
But is this like the offense? Is this the offense in college football? It's not Oklahoma. It's not LSU anymore like last year. Is this the offense in college football, and it lives in Gainesville?
Yeah, here's the crazy thing about it. Right, when we're breaking down and doing our picks last week, and I brought up, listen, I like Ole Miss a lot. Lane Kiffin always seems to have, regardless of where he's coaching, week 1, he always has his guys ready to go. And it was a competitive game for a little bit, but obviously at the end, the Florida Gators got them, and a lot of that has to do with their offense. The other question I had was, is Kyle Trask indeed the man? Now, he was trending up last year a little bit, but the whole theory was, well, how's he going to look week 1? How's he going to look during this whole pandemic thing? Not a lot of practice. Will Kyle Trask come out and put up a show? Needless to say, much to the help of Kyle Pitts, Trask was able to do that. So if Kyle Trask and this offense are right here, right now, week 1, Brent, against, obviously a rebuilding Ole Miss team, but still an SEC opponent nonetheless. Well, what do they do against South Carolina then with another week underneath their belt, right? We saw Miami week 1 come out against, was it Alabama, Birmingham? I think it was Miami played.
Who'd they play week 1?
Was it
UAB?
UAB?
I think it was. It was.
Well, you saw an offense there in Miami who everyone's really high on now. You saw that offense kind of struggle a little bit that first half. You saw that offense kind of, play behind themselves a little bit. Not the Florida Gators.
It ain't just that other station that was all Gators in front of a microphone. We do too.
Oh, hey, hi.
There it is.
Hello.
Not us.
Not us, man.
Stuart Weber is here, though, wearing his orange.
Yeah. It's kind of an orange and black for October.
There you go.
Those are Iowa Scandinavia T-Bird colors, by the way. So I see you, man. Friday Night Lights.
There were T-Birds. That's nice.
T-Birds.
Straight out of Grace.
If we still had the helmet here,
it's the Thunderbirds, but T-Birds.
Oh, they call them T-Birds.
I got you. I'd put the helmet on if it was still in here. I know. If we
we got it.
tied down there.
Yeah, man. Go and take that for a spin. We don't have a camera. It doesn't really matter.
Be careful of the ants, though.
Well, he doesn't have a camera, but you can show everybody at home that
there you go. Yeah,
that's kind of cool. The T-Bird's a good nickname.
I like
it.
Mascot.
It's pretty cool, like logo too on the side, right?
Yeah.
The sticker. Yeah, it's rare. You don't see that a lot.
No, I like it.
He's got good ball possession there. He's not going to drop it.
No, yeah.
Probably going to pierce it.
I don't know if it's actually like his hand holding the ball or if if the ball is actually his hand. I don't know.
It could be both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very old logo.
What you got, Scott? Did you say something over there?
Yeah, he said watch out for the ants.
Oh,
in the helmet. Don't worry. Did you see Scott brought us some raid too, man? What?
I know.
You want to talk about a producer that goes above and beyond.
I mean, what's Kuz ever done?
Didn't bring me anything. I brought him a TJ McConnell jersey one time. What did he give me?
Kuz doesn't even tell me when they bring food drops in here.
Never, man.
And we've got raid now.
And we got raid now.
But have we
After
used
one
it
day.
yet?
Not yet, but it's got a nice lemon
Has anybody
scent.
ever seen a 6'6", 245-pound former NFL player,
Easy.
current MMA fighter afraid of ants?
Easy. Did I say I was afraid of ants? I said the ants were bothering me. Didn't say I was afraid of them. Stuart, if you have 100 ants on a windowsill.
100's a lot now.
Okay, 40, 50. Brent, that's not over-exaggeration.
No, they're a good amount.
Let's say 40 ants crawling up and down the wall. Would you be distracted?
I'd say we have a problem.
Thank you very much.
You know what's interesting?
Problem solved.
That's why you don't have food in here.
So we sent a note to
this is why I got food in here. I got to eat.
Note to the fine folks here about, hey, we just let you know some
Here they
ants.
come. Here they
I
come.
said, well,
Bring it. Let's go. I'll play this game all day.
Yeah, you got one of them.
I got 3 of them. Yeah.
See, I didn't use that stuff earlier because I knew you guys would have to breathe it for the rest of the afternoon.
That's good, though.
Ain't worried about that.
And here's another thing.
By the end of the show, he might be spraying it at me.
Brandon, there's another thing. He got that lemon scent, not the original bad smell, and the lemon scent. It smells like Pledge in here. And my grandma used to always use Pledge when I lived at her house. Thank you, man.
That's a game changer.
Who's your friend? Who's your buddy? I am, aren't I?
I'm back home in Wisconsin right now, man. We got some lemon-scented Pledge coming at you. Go on, Brent. Sorry.
I forget what I was going to say.
Something about
they
the
said they
ants.
kind of blamed us. They said there's too much food in here at times. That's the easy out.
That's an easy out.
That's an easy out. So I looked. I'm like, well, I have a jar of peanut butter. For some reason, I've had a jar of peanut butter here for like a year and a half.
Pizza just hanging out in the corner over
We're
there.
doing some pizza.
Yeah.
But just hanging in here, we don't have food.
Yeah.
Now, you eat in here every day.
Yeah, but I clean up and I take it home.
I mean, cleanup's listen, half of it ends up in your beer.
Hey, that's a good point. But I'm just saying, like, this
Flavor
is a dorm
saver.
room, right? And in a dorm room, I used to eat all the time. I didn't have an ant infestation. What are we talking about here?
This is a dorm room.
Like I
isn't
said,
it?
we got to have some
My
kind
side
of
is.
Yeah.
some
See
kind
those
of
cards
crumbs.
up there now?
I see that. Yeah.
Some kind of crumbs or a hunger problem for ants for them to climb 25 feet just to come get a crumb.
No.
You need the vintage Brent Martineau Jacksonville Suns ball boy.
Well, see,
card up
I
there.
have that, but unfortunately, I have way too many Mark Brunell cards to post up there.
Here we go again.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want a Matt Jones rookie card, I got that up there too. Check it out.
Hey,
worth a lot.
Stuart.
Yes. Hi.
Is the
Sports.
Are the Gators the best offense in the country?
Oh, best tight end in the country, hands down.
I mean, yes, I would say.
Well, yeah, that's a lot.
Kyle Pitts
yeah.
certainly a front runner for best tight end. They played one game.
No, but he is going in anyway. Like that's
Yeah,
not an
going into-
outrageous
yes,
statement. Like
correct.
to
He was
say
the
Kyle
preseason
Trask's the best quarterback in the country because he threw
All-American.
6 touchdowns. Well, that's a little bit of a stretch.
He was the preseason All-SEC quarterback, though. Kyle
I know,
Trask
but
was.
you have Justin Fields, who to me is
Correct.
on a different level. You have Trevor Lawrence on a different level. Kyle Pitts is on that level tight end.
Yeah.
So it's clear you could say that, and he lived up to it week 1.
Now,
But I'm talking offense in general. I mean, Dan Mullen calling the plays. You got a great wide receiver, a really good wide receivers. I got a quarterback that's definitely playing well and on the rise. You have a tight end as a weapon. I mean, you got a nice compliment on offense, and you just put up a gazillion points in game 1.
Have some fun, Stuart. Talk him up a little
against
bit.
Ole Miss. No, I'm not. I'm not. I got to bring the world back down.
Oh,
We're
wow.
getting too high. We're getting way too high from a win over Ole Miss.
Probably the raid.
Under a new head coach in his first game ever coaching at Ole Miss for Lane Kiffin, a guy who's known for offense, not defense. Yes, it was a tremendous performance, but it was 1 week. Let's see if they duplicate that against Champ this week. Then I'll be all aboard. I'll be all happy. I can say we're the best offense in the country and everyone's excited. But if you can duplicate that against Will Muschamp, who is a noted defensive coach, now we're talking.
He's called him Champ, by the way?
Yeah.
Champ.
Who's the better offense, the Gators or
It's a good question. Also one game.
Neighbors? That's for you.
Also one game.
Also one game.
Also
Granted,
one game.
the best game we've ever seen from a quarterback in the SEC as far as passing yards go.
Good point.
I also think, by the way, when Ohio State jumps into the fold here, you're going to have Justin Fields in that offense.
Yeah.
And Clemson, if they want to play a full game and throw somebody out there that they don't have to crush by 40,
Yeah.
probably will showcase they're pretty good, too.
What do you think Alabama stands in this? Because remember, Alabama's got a whole slew of receivers coming back that are impressive.
I'm sure Chris Ryer's listening to the show right now and saying, what about Alabama?
Well, Maybe we're vibing a little bit. What about Alabama?
But he might be right. I mean, listen, Mac Jones and Waddle and
Najee Harris,
company.
yeah,
Obviously, Najee Harris feels like he's been there for 12 years. I think they'll be in the conversation. I mean, I think they will be in that conversation. I do think, listen, I love the story of Mac Jones, so I'm not trying to slight him at all.
Return to the Mac.
I think there's still a curiosity about him when you're going to stack him up against these other guys. I think there's separation there. I think there's separation there between Trask and a couple of these guys too, but Trask seems like he's on a faster rise than maybe Mac Jones, and some of that might be because of how much he's played now in this system for Mullen with these guys. Mac Jones still trying to kind of establish himself as the guy, which he now is, but he still just did that.
Well, and here's the thing. You have the shorter season. I think that can benefit a lot of players not having to do the full year. You know, you're only playing, up there in the Big Ten, they're playing, 7 or 8 games, and here in the SEC, only 10. You know, so you're playing a lot less games, so maybe some of those things that might have been exposed over the long haul aren't going to be. I'll be curious. I'm going to Gainesville tomorrow to go cover the game, so it'll be interesting to see the game day environment in the Swamp with, less than 20,000 people in there just trying to be as loud as a normal 90,000 would be.
Does it surprise you that they had trouble selling tickets? I mean, that speaks to the COVID because I think even Kansas City in week 1, right, the opener, they only had 14,000 there, and I think they could have 17 or 18, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in there. But they didn't have full capacity to what they could have.
Keep in mind, too, I mean, they're coming off the Super Bowl win, right? They're going to sell like that and everything.
So
it's
if
crazy.
they couldn't sell, there's obviously some kind of hesitation by people to say, I'm just going to watch from home.
I think the fact you can't tailgate, too, has got something to do with it.
That, and I think some of these places maybe are putting the prices a little higher.
Well, that's a fantastic point.
Because they know that they're not going to, sell as many, so let's try
they're doing that here. On the open market.
You kind of have to, supply and demand. I get it.
So,
Plus credential's still free, by the way.
Looking forward to seeing if I think the Gators are going to win. I think this is an easy win for the Gators probably, but at the same time, I want to see what it looks like. When you do that back-to-back, it might be for real. One game, okay, settle down. It's early. You don't want to be peaking right now, if you will. But let's see if that offense could look that good again or close to that good again. You're like, all right, now this might really be one of the best offenses in the country, even if they don't have the best guy in each spot.
You want to be peaking in neutral site games this year. Jacksonville, Atlanta, beyond.
Well, it's a big game and a big day in the SEC, at least on the East, because of what you just said. Florida could take command of the East, and many pick them to win the East. And they're the third-ranked team in the country. That's the other part of this. I want to see how the Gators play now being the hunted, because they've been creeping up on people. But now it's like, wait a minute, you just jumped Georgia in the polls? You looked to be one of the best teams in the country? Well, now you're getting people's attention. How do you play as front runners? That's interesting. But Georgia plays Auburn. Big game between the hedges.
Rivalry.
And listen, Georgia didn't look good last week, especially in the first half. I think Georgia's been good. I think they'll figure it out, but they didn't look good. So I think there's a big test for the Georgia Bulldogs. And by the end of Saturday, let's be honest, the Gators could have a 1-game lead in the East.
How cool is it that we get to have all these games and get excited about it and get to see this transpire and see these meaningful games so early in the season? Because with the shorter season, every game is now even more meaningful, and you're only playing SEC teams. There's no tune-ups against the directional schools that you have to face, and now everyone's going to be pretty fun to watch.
There's no layups unless you're talking about FSU at 4 and Florida State. They get their only layup of the season, and nothing's going to be a layup. It doesn't matter.
Three of the next 4 after that are against ranked teams.
Well, and so their schedule gets more difficult, but let's be honest, in the ACC, you can have some layups anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you're not great, they can feel like layups. Well,
but here's the thing. You have to worry, because if you start looking at layups, you become a layup.
Well, right now they are a layup.
Right?
Good call.
No, they are. I mean,
don't sleep on Jacksonville State, Brent. The toast of the OVC.
They can score.
Yep.
I think those teams seeing the last few years come in here with a lot of confidence. Like if you're Jacksonville State, you're showing them what Louisiana Monroe that they hardly snuck by. Was it Samford a couple years ago? They hardly snuck by.
Boise came and got the win.
It's that bad in Tallahassee in terms of the state of the program. It's not just getting throttled by Miami or Clemson or those teams. I mean, you're really in a ball. It was like I said, we had this conversation Monday. And nobody wants to admit it because, even Gator fans have a short memory. But it was like that. It was they lost to Georgia Southern. You know why? Because they could. They were that bad. Yeah. And that's what Florida State is right now. They can lose to anybody because they're, quite frankly, that bad. There's no mojo in Tallahassee.
Well, and they're going for a trifecta right now as well. Week 1, they're supposed to beat Georgia Tech. They lost, okay? They got upset. They lost to probably the underdog. Okay. Week 2, or week 3, really, because they had the bye. But you had 2 weeks to prepare for Miami and come out and actually put up a good performance. You got embarrassed, all right? You got curb stomped. So that's strike number 2. Strike number 3 is now against an FCS opponent where they're going to come into your house and they're trying to make it competitive. And if it's even a close game, like I'm saying, if Florida State wins, but it's not handedly, well, that's strike 3 then. It's like, what are we talking about with Florida State right now?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any arrow up for this game. I think this is a game, I kind of like I referred to the Jets yesterday. Even if they won, people would be like it's a one-off. I think this is kind of it for Florida State. I mean, if they win, that's fine. It feels good. It's good to have a good feeling, maybe something to build on, and it shows a little bit of resilience. But come on, it's Jacksonville State. I mean, it's not going to show you anything unless they are able to do it again the following week.
But I'm saying from a player's perspective too, right? You just got embarrassed by Miami. Yeah. All right, and you had that week to think about that Georgia Tech game with a bye. I mean, if you play this game close against Jacksonville State, what's the confidence level going to be like for the guys in that locker room right now? And keep in mind, a locker room who's been through a lot this past offseason with COVID-19 and then all the allegations with Norvell.
Yeah, I think this is a big game for them. I think Norvell has a chance. You got to, along the way, show some bounce back and resilience. And I understand it's Jacksonville State. How this game looks. The other thing to keep an eye on is the effort, the body language, right, of these 3 weeks into the season. I mean, you can't have folded your tent yet. I know fans have, and we know what reality is, but the players can't. I mean, and that would be I think that would be a really bad look in a new coaching era with Mike Norvell.
I just have a hard time seeing that happening with the guys like Marvin Wilson on that line.
Me too.
They've got some strong senior leaders that came back specifically for this purpose to lift up the younger guys, and you would hate to see those guys bail after such a short amount of time.
True.
Hey, high school football tonight. Stuart Weber leads our coverage. And had a fun night, man. I mean, this is a great year of high school football. Am I just enjoying this more? Like, what is up? Like,
yeah, we had this, 6 months of nothingness.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm.
That doesn't hurt.
I feel like we've got like another
makes you
week.
appreciate
Makes you
appreciate
things a little more.
we have some really good games. I mean, Creekside's going to Fleming Island. We have American Heritage, who traditionally is unbelievable, going up against Bartram Trail, who we know is, I think, the best program in the area right now. We have some really good football games.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of really good ones, by the way.
Next week might be even better. Oh,
that's a tease.
I don't look that far ahead in high school.
I know, I do, because that's
glad
my
you
job.
do.
But yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, Bartram Trail against a team that won the state title just a couple years ago. American Heritage beat Baker County in that state championship game, if our locals remember that one. How about Oakleaf hosting Camden County? That is going to be a really good game tonight as well. Oakleaf not afraid to play some of these big teams from Southeast Georgia. They, got whooped by Lowndes a couple weeks ago. But what do you learn from a game like that against a national power? And then how do you turn that into a game against a Camden County squad that just recently beat Rains?
Yeah.
So, this is a good Wildcats team coming down from Kingsland.
It was a good game last week, too, for Camden County. Right? Who they played?
They beat Marietta,
won by 3.
who beat them in the playoffs the last year.
Yeah.
So they got a little revenge, did Camden County. So, they're turning things around there in Kingsland. And, you mentioned it. Creekside at Fleming Island's a good one.
That's our game of the week. What are we going with?
That is our game of the week, yes.
Yeah, brought to you by Honda The Avenues. That's our game of the week. Check it out tonight. We'll show you some of that game tonight on our Blitz scoreboard show at 9 o'clock.
I'm very curious to see how Parker responds. They're at Rains, at the Graveyard. I'm going to be at that one tonight. And Parker led 20-0 against Atlantic Coast last week, lost 21-20. So a game that you might think is in the bag, and then a team that you probably should have beaten. That's kind of a toss-up between those two. But Parker in recent years has really stepped it up. And, this is a step up for Atlantic Coast, even though they're a big school to play the Braves. And they beat them. They came back and won.
Yeah. And I think Parker's good. And I'll tell you this, they think they're good. And so that's not a good loss when you're up 20-0.
Yeah. So how do they respond in the Graveyard against a Rains team under, new head coach? Duran Wiley's not walking through that door anymore. So, can Coach Massline get them going and get them rocking and rolling at the Graveyard after a loss to Camden County a couple weeks ago?
Mandarins had a tough go a couple of weeks in a row, so they go to Nice. That will be an interesting one to keep an eye on as well. Clay went to 3-0 last night. So high school football heats up tonight. We've got it covered. Stuart Weber leads our Friday Night Blitz coverage. And once again, a reminder about all our coverage. We've expanded at 9 o'clock. We call it the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We have live scores rolling in. As games are finishing, we'll have some live video as well. Last week, we took you to Trinity, Columbia. We were able to show Trinity tying the game up. They eventually won. That was our game of the week. We'll have some video coming in from Fleming Island, also from Bartram Trail. So check it out. And tonight, a little bit different. If you want to see the video anyway, you always have to do this. You have to watch it on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter and Twitch. And that's where you'll find the show. Well, tonight, exclusively, you'll find the show on those social media platforms because we have Game 2 of the NBA playoffs that I guess we are contractually obligated to share on ESPN 690. That one's coming up tonight. So a little NBA on the radio side, high school football from 9 to 10 on the social media side.
Everyone
we'll
by now
share
has
that.
their phones hooked up to their cars. You can
Absolutely.
just stream it through an app.
And then, of course, we have the Blitz, 10:30 on Fox 30, Friday Night Blitz, our half-hour edition. We'll do it again 11:20, but we always invite you to stick around for the 10:30 edition because we get more games in it.
It also streams on the Action News Jax Facebook page.
Man, it is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
That's a cool thing. And by the way, I'll say this.
Shout out to technology.
We've noticed this, right? We love being able to utilize all the platforms from radio to social media to TV. But this year, it is noticeable in the numbers that people are checking it out like online as well because there's so many folks that aren't going to games.
Yeah,
like there are a lot of people aren't allowed to go to games. Yep. And so they're finding it there, which is kind of cool. You can almost, like a lot of people have to do research to see that stuff. You don't need the research. You can see the numbers are up online, which means people are looking for it, having a lot of fun with it. And also, we'll announce tonight our Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Honda The Avenues. Right now, the ESPN690.com vote is strong. It will end, I think, here in the next half hour. So we had a really good vote for the third week in a row. We'll announce the winner of that coming up later on tonight. Stuart Weber, thanks for stopping in. Good luck in Gainesville.
Good to see you.
Weber's doing it all. High school football tonight. We'll be in Gainesville tomorrow for the Florida Gators against South Carolina. We're going to take a break. When we come back, how about some picks?
Let's do it.
What do you think about the Jags? What do you think about some other NFL games and maybe some college games we'll get to as well? The
Score some
six-pack of
baseball
picks
scores too,
when
Brent.
we come back. Oh, yeah, let's check out.
How those Cubs doing?
Are they losing? I would imagine that's why you brought it up. 2-0? What inning?
7th, and there's more coming, don't worry.
Oh, might have to get Kaylee on the horn. The Cubs losing. There's what's tonight? Cardinals-Padres as well will play later tonight. Might talk a little baseball in the 5 o'clock hour. But coming up next, six-pack of picks on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A mild Friday under partly sunny skies. Highs today near 80 degrees, dropping into the 50s tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss Beard's BOGO Wedding Band Sale October 10th through the 18th.
Are you not sure if you should sell or rent out your current home? Hello, my name's Steve Seckler. I'm the broker-owner of Hometown Realty here in Jacksonville. For more than 20 years, my team and I have been helping homeowners like yourself make the informed decision of selling or renting. Unlike most agents, we don't want to just sell your home. We want to help you make the best decision for you and your family. So if your home is valued between $200,000 and $1 million, please give us a call so that we can do a detailed market analysis on the current rent rates as well as the current sale rates. So we will help you with whatever is best for you and your family. Please give us a call, 904-288-9293, or visit us at hometownrealtyjax.com. Again, 904-288-9293 or hometownrealtyjax.com. Looking forward to helping you make a great decision.
If you have a specific medical problem, you call a specialist. Broken leg? Call an orthopedist. Cataracts? Call an ophthalmologist. At Prime Men's Medical Center, our doctors specialize in ED and PE. Listen to Dr. Rubinski, a renowned expert in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinski. If you're experiencing ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications to help you last longer in the bedroom, regardless of age or past medical history, with no pain or surgery. In fact, you'll see results in the office guaranteed or your exam is free. Patients are now lasting for 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, treatments are affordable.
Men. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, call Prime Men's Medical Center for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians. Call 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105.
Hey, boss, guess who I saw at the grocery store today?
I don't know. Elvis?
No, I saw your mom.
Ah, she doing good today?
Yeah, she's great. Said to say hello. Oh, and to thank you again for the Safe Touch security system you got her.
Ah, Safe Touch. The source of all my internal conflict.
Huh?
See, on one hand, as a cook, I hate Safe Touch security. But as a son, I love Safe Touch because they help protect my ma.
Yeah, she loves having the medical and panic buttons. Oh, and the two-way communicator's been great. She says Safe Touch makes her feel safe.
And so my personal tug-of-war continues. I hate Safe Touch. I love Safe Touch.
Well, love 'em or hate 'em, we still gotta stick to the Crooks R Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. Unless it's Mom's house.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
The ride you want, the savings you need. Oh, and when it comes to credit approval, almost everyone gets approved. Sounds like it's time to get it all and get to Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Finding the best ride starts with big-time selection. And at Arlington Toyota, you'll find over 750 new and pre-owned on the lot every day. Right now at Arlington, shop over 100 quality pre-owned cars to buy at $0 down and just $199 a month. Looking for a truck or SUV? Arlington's got 50 quality pre-owned trucks and SUVs to buy at $0 down and $269 a month. With Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. Now, when I say get it all at Arlington, I mean it, because you'll get a 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Just another way that Arlington goes the extra mile for you. Get it all when you shop pre-owned at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Come to the grand opening of Q Delicia, the best Mexican-American sports bar in town. Enjoy ice-cold beer, $10 sangria pitchers, along with the best quesadillas and fajitas in town while watching the game. If you can't go, at least you can watch. But don't be surprised if you hear, goal! You can watch football, NFL, NBA, MLB, boxing, UFC, and more on multiple HD TVs. Visit Q Delicia for the grand opening on 3980 Southside Boulevard today. Q Delicia, the Mexican-American sports bar you never knew you needed. Call 904-253-3477.
The First Coast is booming. With interest rates at historic lows, there has never been a better time to call Brandon Ponsel and his network of local experts at Jags Coastal Homes. You can visit them at jagscoastalhomes.com or call them today at 904-206-9480 and mention ESPN 690 to receive up to $2,500 towards your closing cost. Need to sell? Powered by the unparalleled technology of EXP, Brandon will guarantee the sale of your home in under 60 days, or he'll sell it for free. The First Coast market is on the move. Are you?
This message is brought to you by Community First Credit Union.
Here's an idea. Let's make some plans. Plans to do all the things we've been wanting to do. And let's put those plans on solid financial ground. So if you have questions about your family or business finances, we have answers. Answers that can work for you and everyone in Jacksonville.
To get started, text ANSWERS to 797979 or visit communityfirstfl.org to schedule an appointment. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Vote for this week's ESPN 690 High School Athlete of the Week, presented by Honda of the Avenues. Each week, an athlete with the most votes will be announced on Action Sports Jax. To vote or nominate your favorite student athlete, go to ESPN690.com or check us out on ESPN 690's Facebook page.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Welcome back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Friday afternoon, 4:30-ish. And you know what that means? Time to get the picks in. I got to get my card out here. Like, Kuz goes away, man. He just drops everything. How did we do last week?
Oh, I was trash.
Were you?
I think so.
I was. It was hard last week just to pick games, forget about the spread.
I know.
Like, if you're just trying to pick winners,
yeah,
it was tough. All right, let's welcome in Brandon Ponsel from Jax Coastal Homes. Joins us every Friday here for our 6-pack of picks. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you all, Brent and Austin?
Doing well, thank you. Thanks for hanging with us here on a Friday. And, yeah, I'm looking back at last week, and, yeah, I picked Ole Miss. You guys had Brandon had Florida, I think. Austin had Ole Miss. Austin had FSU.
Yeah.
A couple Miamis over here. Dallas's. Oops. Oh, that was +5, though. Nope, we didn't win that one. New Orleans.
You had Green Bay. Or not? You don't have Green Bay?
Nope.
Okay.
And so Kansas City, I did have guys, and you had Kansas City as well, and Brendan had Baltimore. So there's a little bit of a score sheet. Before we get to some of the picks, I always like a little real estate question in here. Maybe just selfishly, Brendan, for my own knowledge, but I'm intrigued by it. So I was thinking of it this morning. I was like, what kind of question can I get to Brendan? Probably should have given you a heads up. So maybe you can answer this even without a heads up. Around here, I kind of wonder, how much do pools help a property or not when you're trying to sell a house?
That's a great question, and all of our listeners should be intrigued about real estate. It's the number one way to build your wealth. If you're young and you can get into a property, you should absolutely be getting a property. It's absolutely the smartest investment you can make. And to answer your question, pools are in such high demand right now in Jacksonville. If you're looking to buy a property and put a pool in, pool contractors are backed up until next April, next May.
Wow. Dang.
You just can't get somebody to build a pool. So these properties that are going to the market with a pool, if they are reasonably priced, they're getting 6, 7, 8 offers right off the top. And it's a bidding war. Everybody wants a property with a pool. And when these do come on the market, and if you're a seller out there and you have a property with a pool, you might want to consider selling because people want a pool very much.
Brandon, now more importantly, how important is it to have a backyard fireplace in the middle of Jacksonville, Florida? What is that going to do for your property value and obviously your home value?
I guess it's a little bit better in Jacksonville than Miami. I guess we get a little bit of time to use a fire pit.
A little bit.
But yeah, the pool's the big key in getting more traction than you could ever dream of on your own property if you're looking to sell.
You hear that, Brent? Talking about pools again. Didn't even bring up the fireplace. It's all right, though,
That's
man.
all right. I'm flexing with the fireplace. Me in Kingsbury. He can do it in Arizona. I can do it here in Jacksonville. And I love every second of it. Brandon Ponce with us from Jack's Coastal Homes, jackscoastalhomes.com. Go check him out for all the listings and how if you need to buy a house, Brandon Ponce, the guy to see. It's really interesting with the pool talk. I want to ask you one more question, follow-up. Everybody, all these neighborhoods build like amenity centers. So, like, are those still valuable, like, to build an amenity center, or people just build their own pools anyway? They don't want to go down there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have those amenities. You'd be shocked, though, when they build those complexes that do have, like, a community pool for, 300, 400 homes. How gently used they are. People just kind of want their own private space. And then during this whole kind of COVID situation, a lot of pools, some country club pools, you gotta go on the country club app and make a reservation for a pod. That's how it is out of Atlantic Beach Country Club. You got to make a reservation at a pod, and the demand to get one of those pods is so high. Like, you got to be the first person in the morning when the reservation sheet's open to get those. So having your own private space is just highly coveted.
Yeah, how about that? Brendan Ponce from jackscoastalhomes.com. We live in a place where we have one of those amenity centers, and I never use it. And I don't know if it's because I don't want to go in the pool, want to sit by my fireplace, or just don't want anybody to see me with a shirt off.
How about that picture of the sky from Atlantic Beach Country Club that someone tweeted at you last night?
That was a good one, huh? Are the greens rolling as fast as I commented?
They're the fastest greens. This is a tough track out here for sure.
All right. Hey, let's get you out of here so we can pick the games and see what we've got for this week. I know we have a couple of college games that we want to get into and send them your way. Texas A&M and Alabama. Alabama, heavy favorite. Huge game for Texas A&M. Maybe that statement signature kind of game for Jimbo Fisher, while at Texas A&M, just can he get it done? Heck, can he get it done? Can he cover, Brandon?
So I'm a big fan of Nick Saban, but when his spreads are 29.5 like they were last week, he lets him foot off the gas, and Missouri gets that backdoor cover. So I avoid those. But 17.5 is not enough for him to let the foot off the pedal. Alabama will get on him early and often. I think QB looks great last week, local kid. And I think Alabama wins comfortably again. So I'm taking the Tide minus 17.5.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking the Tide as well. I don't see Nick Saban letting up in this game at all. And when they go back for the highlight montage of Mac, you have to play the song Return of the Mac. You know what I'm saying?
Jones,
Mac Jones, yeah.
Mac Jones from Bowl School, by the way, and off to a good start in 2020. You know what, guys? I'm taking Texas A&M with the points.
Okay.
I just feel like this is their Super Bowl. You know?
Yeah,
no, seriously.
true. It is. I mean, what else they got? Yeah,
and it's Texas A&M has a tough schedule, but at least this is the start of it. Mm-hmm. It's not like this is the fourth game of that tough schedule that you're getting Alabama. So they're still fresh, and maybe they can surprise Alabama, at least stay in the game. But you guys take Alabama. I'll take Texas A&M. All right, Auburn, Georgia. This is a great game and very tough one to predict, I think, for both teams. 6.5-point favorites, Austin. Georgia, the favorite at home.
Listen, there's no home field advantage, I feel like. Georgia has a quarterback problem right now. Who are you going to go with? I have no idea. Give me Bo Nix and give me the points. I think it's kind of an easy pick, but Vegas probably knows something that I don't know right now. I'm taking Auburn.
They know a lot you don't know. What do you think, Brandon?
Sure.
I think the biggest question mark for Georgia is who's going to play quarterback. I followed JT Daniels closely in my time in San Diego. The kid can play. I don't know how that knee will hold up, but if he's healthy and takes over that job, Georgia is going to be ridiculous on offense. So I'm thinking JT Daniels is going to come out and play tomorrow. So I'm going to roll with the Dogs, and I think they kind of put it on Auburn.
How about that? Interesting. I'll tell you what. Kirby Smart, you can tell he's a good coach. Because if you watch that first half, you're like, oh, boy, this is going to be one of those upsets. Mm-hmm. Now, it's Arkansas. I understand. Yeah. But he got into them at halftime. There was no doubt, and they listened to him. They played so much better in every facet of the game in that second half. Mm-hmm. That being said, I'm concerned about the QB situation. I'm concerned about their offense right now. And so I think Auburn sticks around in this game. This is going to be a close game, I believe. I'll take Auburn with the 6.5 points. All right, on to the NFL. Vikings and Texans. We think it's a pivotal game for both these teams. They're both 0-3. Coin flip, at least to who's going to play and who's going to live up to some of their hype. What do you think, Brandon? -4 for Deshaun Watson and the Texans.
You got two teams that have had reservations into the playoffs the last 3-4 years, and wow, not the start they were looking for. I got to figure quarterback like Deshaun Watson, too good to go 0-4. So I'm going to take the home team, lay the 4, and I think the Texans get back on some kind of track with this season.
Yeah, I'm taking Houston as well. I just think they're the better team right now. The identity of the Vikings was supposed to play good defense, run with Dalvin Cook. They're not really doing that in terms of defense. Give me the Texans all day. And another prediction, too. I'm not sure what the odds are, but if the Vikings do indeed lose, Mike Zimmer might punch a media member after the game. It's getting to that point.
The one good thing they have is Dalvin Cook's playing really good football. Mm. And, gosh, I was going to probably go Houston here, but now that you give me this game picker-upper option with 4 points on the road from Minnesota, I'm going to take the Vikings. Oh, I don't know if I like that, but I'm going to take them anyway.
In Kirk we trust, huh, Brent?
Not really.
All right.
But you know me, I'm not high on the Texans either.
I know.
So
yeah.
The Patriots-Chiefs. This is an interesting game. Chiefs are banged up a little bit, especially in their secondary. Touchdown favorites. Is this a no-brainer for the Chiefs, Austin, or what?
See, I want to say so, but go ahead and give me Bill Belichick. Give me that defense. I think the defense keeps it close, and the way they're set up right now with Cam Newton running the ball, I think Sony Michel's coming back. Rex Burkhead had a pretty good game. I mean, there's ways to extend the ball down the field. If you extend the ball down the field, you hang on to the ball. I think it's a close game because the time of possession is going to favor the Patriots.
All right, Brandon, what do you think?
The Chiefs look so good on Monday Night Football. Patriots still have a limited roster. I just think Chiefs are playing with so much confidence right now. Mahomes are going to light the scoreboard up. Not much Belichick can do to slow down that offense. So I think Chiefs win rather comfortably, and I'll lay the 7.
I think Kansas City might be the best team to bet on that I can remember in like a decade. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, they hardly disappoint you. Mm-hmm. They're so good. They're never out of it.
Yeah.
And even, heck, they'll tack something on late for you if you need it to cover the points.
Sure.
I think this is the game that shows a little separation between New England. Like, New England's not where they were, and Kansas City can exploit that a little bit. No such thing as a hangover game when you got Baltimore and then you come back and you have the Patriots.
No kidding.
They'll get their attention. No doubt about that. All right, 2 more to go. Bills and Raiders. I think this is a fun game. The Raiders are underdogs at home by 3, Brandon.
I like this Bills team. I think even though they won last week, they had a big wake-up call in that second half. I think they'll be ready to play. I think the Raiders are a year away, maybe a quarterback away, but I'm going to take the Bills, lay the 3.
Go ahead and give me the Bills as well, Brent.
Yeah, I'm going to take Las Vegas here. I think home dog, I just like that in the NFL. Bills aren't going undefeated. And they might have shown a few warts last week in that second half. All right, Jags and Bengals. Bengals by 3 in Cincinnati. Austin?
Oh, listen, this is the last week I get the Jacksonville Jaguars to show me who you truly are. I'm taking the Jaguars with the points. I think Geno Atkins being out and obviously Daniels being out in the middle too is going to be huge for them. You can pound the rock with James Robinson. Cincinnati's already been very porous in terms of stopping the run. Will they get even more porous now? Losing more porous. Is that a word? It's going to be a word today. They get even more porous losing Mike Daniels. I think Jacksonville can control the clock and the weapons are there to throw the ball if you truly have to. One more week, I'm picking the Jaguars. Show me who you guys truly are.
All right, Brandon from JacksCoastalHomes.com. Brendan Ponzo with us, picks every Friday. Jacksonville Jaguars, Cincinnati Bengals, Jags, or Joe Burrow?
Looking for a big bounce-back game from Gardner Minshew. I think he's going to go into that environment against a very poor defense, spread the ball around the field. Robinson will have a big game as well. I think the Jags pull this game out, outright winner.
How about that? I like it. I like where you guys are thinking. I don't like what I'm thinking.
Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows.
I can't believe it.
What are you doing?
I know. I've told you from the get-go.
Think about your branding.
I don't like this guy, no. I don't like this game for the Jags. I haven't since the schedule came out.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm not going to waver from that.
Oh, Brent, no.
Although I did have him winning last week, and that didn't work out. So you got to earn it from me here once in a while. I've been on that train so many times. I need to be reeled back in on occasion.
Wow.
They got to win the coin flip until they win the coin flip. All right, I'm going to go with the Bengals. Unfortunately, though, it could be a push. It could be a field goal game.
Could be.
I don't like the Jags kicking situation concerns me.
Are they suiting up 2 kickers to
I
go
think they will.
on Sunday?
I think they're going to end up doing that.
That's
they might
normal.
have already said.
Just don't kick. Just go for it on fourth down every time.
Now we're talking.
I like it. Hey, hopefully you go for those par 5s and 2 out there at Atlantic Beach Country Club. Make some birdies this weekend. Thanks for jumping in, man.
All right. Thank you, Brent.
Brandon Ponzo, JacksCoastalHomes.com. Check him out. If you're looking into real estate and obviously buying and selling, it's a hot time. One of the hottest markets in the entire country right now is right here in Northeast Florida. Brandon Ponzo on JacksCoastalHomes.com.
Listen, the guy knows his stuff. And I repeat, he didn't even entertain the idea of a backyard fireplace.
No, he didn't.
Didn't even give the time of day.
I don't think that adds too much value.
I guess not. Must be nice.
I was going to ask, I'll save it for next week. I'll see. When I was a kid, I really remember, or maybe when I bought a house early on, they would say, like, if you redo your bathroom, that adds, like, the most value to your home.
Really?
Right? Like,
Okay.
I think it was your bathrooms where you get kind of your money back.
Sure.
Right? You invest in it and you get more of your money back.
I got you.
I wonder if that's still the case. And down here, obviously, pools are a thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think pools are, like, when I bought in, like, 2008,
Yeah.
I think pools were kind of hit or miss. It's like, do you want a pool or you don't want a pool?
Yeah.
I think now it's like, pools are a thing, especially given the times right in this moment.
So when I was down here, probably like my first year in Jacksonville, I was at one of my friends' houses, and they had a saltwater pool. I had no idea saltwater pools were even a thing. Because, like chlorine, obviously, it dries your skin out. And if you're wearing swim trunks, it can kind of dye them out a little bit. Dude, saltwater pools, you talk about a game changer. Like, I went in that pool, and everything that I thought I knew about a pool was changed forever. I'm like, I got to get me one of these one day.
Well, the one thing I didn't want a pool, like, we don't have a pool. And I was always like, I don't want to take care. I can hardly take care. I don't even put my clothes away in my room.
It's because we used to have a pool at our old house, and yeah, it's a chore.
But
it's a chore and a half.
I think what I was getting at, though, is I don't think it is much anymore.
I don't know, because I paid someone to take care of it for me.
Right,
so,
but I think everything's easier than it used to be. So I wonder if taking care of a pool is.
I don't know, man. All I know is I paid someone to do it weekly. So.
I just know taking care of that fireplace isn't too hard.
No, I'm sure it's not, because you're never using it. Because it's 90 degrees outside.
Like 2 weeks ago. Tonight would be a nice night.
Tonight's going to be a nice night. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I'm not going to use it. I'm going to be out high school football.
Do what you got to do.
All right, that's our 6-pack of picks. We have an hour to go. When we come back, we talk a little more football, but I also want to lean in on the NBA tonight. Is this thing over? I mean, don't you get the feeling it's over?
Bam's out, by the way, too. I should probably say that. I should probably save that for the next segment.
That's all right. But it's breaking news in the last hour is that he will miss the game. I mean, it's an uphill battle for Miami. I mean, you gotta be a big believer. Yeah. I mean, to think Miami's gonna win this series.
You do now.
Heck, even win a game. I just don't feel it. But it probably happened. I just don't feel it. And also, Major League Baseball. Just a few thoughts on Major League Baseball. Do you like this short season and expanded playoffs? Mm-hmm. And should this be explored more going forward? Just like the DH rule, just like the extra inning rule. and we'll give you an update on some of the baseball scores and what's happening in the rest of the world of sports. An hour to go here on a Friday. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. You're always welcome to jump in the conversation. 904-362-9901. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app. As the seasons change, there's one thing that never changes: the importance of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean, and that's also why our family has a Connecticut system from CGC Water. Yours can too. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier softener. Connecticut Premier softeners are non-electric and have twin tanks, making them super efficient, saving you money. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier softener. Financing available with approved credit. Just call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer. It is the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The golf club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the golf club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the golf club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
The First Coast is booming. With interest rates at historic lows, there has never been a better time to call Brandon Ponsel and his network of local experts at Jags Coastal Homes. You can visit them at jagscoastalhomes.com or call them today at 904-206-9480 and mention ESPN 690 to receive up to $2,500 towards your closing cost. Need to sell? Powered by the unparalleled technology of EXP, Brandon will guarantee the sale of your home in under 60 days, or he'll sell it for free. The First Coast market is on the move. Are you?
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our Best Wellness program. And welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
There's a new modern patient-centered orthopedic practice in Jacksonville.
We believe that the patient pays money for a doctor and should be seen by a doctor.
Ortho Edge.
They're getting the most technologically available medicine there is.
Ortho Edge.
You're going to get a much better experience with your physician. We all see our patients.
Get the answers right away and more focused care on patients.
Find out more about us at orthoedge.com.
Ortho Edge are in the DePaul building attached to St. Vincent's Medical Center, Riverside.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
The football season is underway, and you can track the latest news and information at betonline.net. The early season storylines have not disappointed thus far, and betonline.net has odds and lines all the way through the season and even into the playoffs. In Week 4, will road teams dominate the way they did in Week 3, going 9-6-1? Follow along at betonline.net as 32 teams continue their journey to Tampa in February. Always available online or your mobile device. Check out betonline.net today. Bring the game home at betonline.net.
This is Chris Chambliss, Clay County Supervisor of Elections, with an important elections pro tip. Have you seen your ballot? With over 3,000 words, it's a doozy. That's why it's more important than ever to take the time to view your sample ballot. Mark your sample ballot and take it with you when you go to vote. Sample ballots are available online now. Make your voting experience more enjoyable and efficient. View yours today at northfloridavotes.com.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox. The Miami Heat will be without one of their top players for Game 2 of the NBA Finals against the Lakers tonight. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting at Bam Adebayo dealing with pain in his neck and left shoulder. Team hopeful that he will be ready to return for game, but likely out for tonight. Guard Goran Dragic expected to make a decision on playing tonight prior to the game. Adrian Wojnarowski after Game 1 that Dragic suffered a plantar tear in his left foot. Jimmy Butler on what Miami is facing tonight in Game 2.
Nobody picked us to be here, but we know that we can win. We do. But we know it's got to play perfect, man. So coming into Game 2, all the adversity, backs against the wall, yada, 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 we're going to win.
And Game 2 scheduled to tip just after 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Coverage on ABC TV and ESPN radio affiliates at 8:30 Eastern. 8th inning at Wrigley Field. Marlins a 2-0 lead on the Cubs in Game 2 of their National League Wild Card Series. Game right now airing on ABC television and ESPN radio affiliates. 49ers will not have Jimmy Garoppolo. He's been ruled out for Sunday. Nick Mullins instead will start against the Eagles.
Coming up Monday, we look ahead to Monday Night Football. Can Aaron Rodgers continue his resurgence? And the Falcons look to cool Dan Quinn's hot seat at the frozen tundra. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Monday, 6 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Hope everybody's doing well here on a Friday. Another beautiful day in Jacksonville. Heading into the weekend. What do you got on USC? Got anything good?
So they're at Fight Island. It's Holly Holm.
Are they ever leaving Fight Island?
Sometimes they do.
I mean, that's become home base.
Yeah,
right?
It has been. Oh, well, for the most part. Vegas is still kind of home base as well. But at the end of the day, if you got an island with a cage, why not invest in it?
So that's worked out well.
And if you can't put butts in seats in venues right now, why not do it at a showcase place where you can at least take care of your fighters?
Nicely put, exactly. So like these, Brent, like this is more of like the international fights usually, because with traveling and COVID-19, obviously a lot of them it's hard to get to from European countries and things like that, or even like South African like Brazil, okay? That's South Africa, right? South America, sorry, man. But hello. But with that being said, it's hard to get to Vegas, right? So they kind of meet halfway, and that's at Yaz Island. So the main event this weekend is going to be Holly Holm, who, is a pretty well-known name, beat Ronda Rousey back in the day, fighting the upstart in Irene Aldana. Girl can throw hands, by the way. So you have a striker versus a counterpuncher, which I'm all about.
Whatever happened to Holly Holm?
What do you mean? She's been around.
I mean, because obviously she beats Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And that was her claim to fame. But ever since then, it's kind of felt like.
So it was a rough one, right? So she beats Ronda Rousey. She shocks the world. She's set for, to be the champion for years and years to come. And then she fights a girl by the name of Miesha Tate.
That's right.
Who's a well-known grappler. Miesha Tate chokes her out. And, she's been fighting to get back ever since.
So she's still on the climb back then.
Holly Holm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's had a couple ups, couple downs. But, yeah, she's still trying to climb and get that championship.
Who's like the most popular female MMA?
By far, probably Amanda Nunes.
Nunes is
such a beast. Amanda Nunes, such a beast. And she became so successful so fast. I wondered if she was going to be ready for the primetime fights that she was getting.
Right.
She's
ready.
I was so wrong.
She's ready.
I was so mistaken to doubt that.
She's the champ, Brent. She's got championships in 2 divisions.
I love the energy that picks up because Scott likes himself some MMA.
I know, man. Right at home with Scott here.
So will you watch Scott?
Absolutely.
You on like an every Saturday night?
It depends on the lineup. I'm interested in particular fighters that I've heard of, and I'll check to see like the fight stats, see who's got a good win-loss record coming in, and if there's somebody that's on the climb, I'll start paying attention to see if there's somebody worth watching and see if I can maybe jump on board before the bandwagon start for the new fandom.
I like it.
But Holly Holmes is interesting coming into this fight. She's the favorite coming back this time around, and I've got to say, after watching several of her past fight performances, I'll
recognize her work as a journeyman fighter.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'll ever pick her as a favorite again.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about being a counterpuncher, right? Like, you have to have a game opponent. And right now, I think with Holly Holm, people are starting to figure out the Rubik's Cube of how to beat her. And Irene Aldana is a very accomplished striker, a very smart, intelligent fighter. So she can probably play Holly Holm's game, but at the same time, she can be patient and force Holly Holm in a bad situation. So I actually like Irene Aldana a lot as the underdog here.
All right. Fight Island continues. We'll check it out this weekend. We'll get a report from.
You got golf stuff you want to talk
Austin
about
Lane.
now? You got some golf thing going on?
Not really.
Tournament?
I don't think
Masters,
the next golf thing to really talk about would be the Masters, coming up in November.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. Only when necessary.
I got you, man.
I mean, unless you want to talk about my game a little bit.
How's it going?
Great.
You seem pretty bummed when you said that.
No.
You can't even make eye contact. You just look down. You're like, not great.
Did you get in another half rack of ribs today?
Nah, I didn't. No, I didn't play golf today. But I feel pretty good the way I feel so close in golf. But I say that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those games, man. Just feel close, and then you're like, I can't score. Still not scoring. I'm disappointed so far in my putting the last couple months.
I feel that way when I go to the bar on Friday nights.
And, of course, you're still social distancing, Scott, right?
Oh, of course. Same social distance, wearing the mask.
He's the only one in there. Don't say which bar. Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, Scott in for Coos, who's tasting cake.
Yeah.
I mean, like when he put in for his day off, is that what he said?
I don't know. You think that's an excuse? I got to taste cake?
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is 3 months ago I was told, hey, mark this date on your calendar and plan to be available.
At least he gave you plenty of notice.
Sure. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, usually I'm good about for like a week out. I'm like, oh, yeah, by the way, I got a wedding coming up. Oh, by the way, the fight's happening this week, Brent. Can you spot me?
We know.
Yeah.
We talk a little NBA. No chance. Miami can't win, right? Bam's out.
I know.
But they weren't going to win anyway. It's a bad matchup. I told you this.
You did?
Like,
you're shutting fun down, Brent.
I know it doesn't. I feel like that, right? You can get the sense when announcers, like on games, are like trying to keep the thing going and give you something to get excited about.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with this because I think LeBron and Anthony Davis and company are worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's a watch. They don't have to. I'd rather it not be a 40-point blowout.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it will. I mean, it's just not the way sports work. I mean, they're not going to beat them by 30 every game. I mean, they essentially did beat them by 30, even though the score was closer the other night. But it's okay. Like, I'm here to watch LeBron and Anthony Davis. To be honest with you, I'm not here to watch Jimmy Butler or Bam or Tyler Hero. I mean, they'll have their time, but that's not why I'm going to watch the series. So, like, I'm okay with this one. I'm okay. I guess I'm okay because this is what should happen. The Lakers should win.
They should win. I hear you, man. And I think, obviously, that they're going to win. I guess, like, and listen, of all storyline narratives, of all the times, you know, that it makes the most sense, it's definitely this year. But, like, even last year, like, nobody had the Raptors doing anything. And, like, to me, the Raptors were, like, the team that nobody wanted to see the Raptors win. Like, were you really cheering for Kawhi Leonard? You know, I mean, maybe because they're such an underdog. But, like, to me, it was all about the Warriors, man. Like, can they overcome Kevin Durant going down? Klay Thompson goes down. It's all on Steph Curry's shoulders. Can they make it? And obviously they couldn't. So I get what you're saying here in terms of storylines. It seems way too perfect. But at the end of the day, if Bam's going to be hurt, if that team is struggling right now to put a healthy product on the court, then, yeah, it's the Lakers all day.
All right, let me ask you then the bigger NBA story. This is the bigger NBA story now is Kyrie Irving's words, more so than the NBA Finals being a bigger NBA story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think? Kyrie Irving essentially, this was a total dismissal of LeBron James.
Yeah, can we get the quote real quick here?
Well, you can pull it up. I don't think we have it. I didn't prepare Scott that well. But that's okay. It had been on me. I mean, you talk about a big heads up. It's 5:09. We're talking about this topic at 5:09 in 10 seconds. And Austin wants us to come up with a quote. That's not enough time for you.
I could have swore I took this quote yesterday. Actually, I told you to look it up, but it's all good.
Well,
hey,
it's all
about
good,
the
topic.
Though.
You didn't say, hey, can you grab the audio?
Okay, so check this out. So Kyrie Irving, for the most part, says he's excited for Kevin Durant to come back because he finally has something, and obviously I can't say what I have to say here, but he has someone that can expletive make the shots that he does.
What is Kyrie's problem?
Yeah.
Seriously, what is his problem?
What? It's weird. I mean, this is nothing new to me. Like, listen, at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving is kind of a different cat, right? Whether it's flat Earth, whether it's, some of the other antics. Like, I just think that he said this because he's so excited for Kevin Durant more than it was actually a haymaker at LeBron. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was more of a nod to Kevin. It is, but I'm just thinking, I think the way Kyrie Irving thinks, I think it's more of a nod to Kevin Durant.
I mean, I think he has always had for whatever reason, and some guys don't get along. It's not everybody's got to like LeBron James, but for whatever reason.
Easy now.
For whatever reason, he wanted out.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to play second fiddle to LeBron, and he hasn't lived up to being on his own, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
And now it feels like he's still trying to take shots at LeBron James, who, by the way, is about to win another championship and is still playing at a super high level.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get the Kyrie Irving thing. Quite frankly, I thought Kyrie Irving was awesome when he was with LeBron.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's terrible, but I think he has slid so far down the superstar chart, partially because of injury.
Yeah.
But it just feels like he's slid down that chart. He is not in the upper. He's not like the first 5 guys I name in the NBA. And quite frankly, I'm not even sure he's in the top 10.
I definitely put him top 10. Listen, I think this is just a result. Like, Kyrie Irving now is the anti-hero. All right? And why I say that is because when he was in Cleveland, I thought him and LeBron had a good thing, right? You won a championship. You brought hope back to the city of Cleveland. But let's be honest. Regardless of how great Kyrie Irving played in that series, he was Robin, all right? He was never Batman. It was never about Kyrie Irving. It was always about LeBron James. And then, when LeBron did his thing and they kind of had their falling out, Kyrie was kind of left on the back burner a little bit. So he goes someplace else, and now he's kind of the man. So this is like Kyrie Irving kind of coming out of his shell, and now he's the Batman of his own story, let's just say. And he's the Batman, but he could be a little bitter of a Batman. Right? Because he's obviously bitter at LeBron James and how that all went down in Cleveland, how that all transpired. So I don't think Kyrie Irving's a bad dude. I don't think he really means ill will towards LeBron James or this is like a haymaker at LeBron James. I just think that this is a passive aggressive move to say, you know what, I'm super excited for Kevin Durant, and he's trying to put the whole Cleveland stuff behind him. Maybe that's just me thinking out loud. I don't know. What else could do you really think he's that dense to say LeBron James can't make a big shot? He's not that dense, Brent. I don't care if you believe in flat earth or not. You're not that dense.
Well, I think but I mean, you got to know what you're saying. I mean, you've been in front of microphones long enough. You got to kind of know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Kyrie Irving as the second guy in Cleveland to LeBron. I thought he was awesome. Mm-hmm. I thought he was just such a good compliment. He's going to be the second guy again, by the way, in Brooklyn. I mean, Durant's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even close between Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Just like, quite frankly, it wasn't close between LeBron and Kyrie Irving. There's a huge drop-off. He's a good player.
Yeah.
There's a huge drop-off.
Yeah, but I mean, it's different. You can't really compare Kyrie to, this obviously Kevin Durant's he's an animal. He's a matchup nightmare, but Kyrie Irving is a facilitator, man. A lot of that offense is going to run through Kyrie Irving. So
yeah,
you can't knock him too much.
Yeah, he'll have the ball in his hands more.
Correct.
In that sense. But I mean, 7-foot guys have the ball in their hands all the time too now in the NBA. So I also think what soured this a little bit is he goes to Boston, and he's kind of a bad guy there too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah,
that thing was sour in Boston.
It was.
So right now it's kind of like wherever Kyrie goes.
Yeah, I mean,
he ain't happy, or somebody's not happy.
True. Well, like how we always call Leonard Fournette misunderstood, right? I think Kyrie Irving is kind of like the NBA version of that. I mean, and listen, I don't know Kyrie personally. I don't know what he's all about. I just think the guy, for whatever reason, is a little misunderstood and goes about things maybe not the most positive of ways and puts a lot of this stuff on himself for whatever reason. But I think deep down, he's actually a good dude.
All right. 2-0, by the way. The Marlins lead the Cubs.
One more time for the people in the back.
2-0. Marlins lead the Cubs. Could sweep the Cubbies.
Should we go live play-by-play for this final inning here? I'd love to do that.
No, I don't think people want that.
I do.
The story here is the Marlins have never. They don't go to the playoffs much, but when they go, they win all their series. They've never lost a series, I don't think.
Huh.
I think that's the story. I got to look up that stat, but I'm pretty sure I heard they've never lost a series.
Ever.
Which means they've been in the playoffs just those 2 times when they won the
when they
won the World Series.
Yeah. I'm about to fact check that.
Yeah, do that because I feel like I heard that. It doesn't sound like it makes a lot of sense.
That's a pretty crazy stat if that's true.
But we have some crazy stats around, no doubt. Hey, I want to remind folks, we're going to talk a little baseball, but I want to remind folks FSU tomorrow plays Jacksonville State. That will be on ESPN 690. Of course, ESPN 690, your home for Seminoles football and basketball here in Northeast Florida. So you can check the game out if you're driving around or have some errands to do. Tune in ESPN 690. You can hear it loud and clear all over Northeast Florida.
You are absolutely right, Brett
I heard that
Marno.
one right. I mean, it's not like I looked it up. I heard it, and that's correct, right?
That's insane.
Isn't that wild?
Correct.
So they've only gone twice.
1997 and 2003.
That's wild. And they're on their way to winning this one.
Yeah.
So look out for the Marlins. When they get in, they do big things.
Absolutely.
And this was an unexpected trip to the postseason to begin
who are you
with.
telling?
But this would be a huge upset.
Especially
of the
after
Cubs.
last season, right? I mean, they were horrible last season.
Yeah.
Attendance was a joke last year.
By the way, how about one of the most competitive divisions in baseball year in, year out is the NL Central.
Yeah.
If the Padres win tonight over Cardinals and the Cubs, this stays the same way, the NL Central is eliminated. They had 4 teams in and eliminated.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
It's very
in
wild.
the opening round.
Yeah, quote unquote, the most competitive division of all baseball. So much for that. Listen, Brent, I mean, if anything, it just shows you how good Derek Jeter is compared to A-Rod, right? Because Derek Jeter right now has the Marlins firing all cylinders, possibly going to another World Series, have never lost a playoff series in their entire franchise history, let's just say. And meanwhile, you got A-Rod over there trying to buy the Mets. Didn't work out. And then you got J-Lo crying about it on Instagram. Advantage Derek Jeter. What? Was she not crying? What? How's that not advantage Derek Jeter? Did you see J-Lo? I can't believe it. We tried so hard.
But what if you just stop at J-Lo?
Dude, you want to bring... that's a good point. Didn't Derek Jeter... Wasn't he tied to Madonna, Derek Jeter was?
He's been tied to a lot of folks.
Yeah, there he goes. He's doing fine.
He's probably doing fine down there
He doesn't talk. He doesn't flex about it.
No, he's
not on
married.
Instagram about it.
He's
Derek Jeter
to
is?
the model now.
Oh, yeah, the swimsuit model.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's fine.
But I don't know her name, and I know J-Lo's name.
Yeah, well... Yeah, but at the same time, but you don't see Derek Jeter on TikTok being forced to do TikToks with his wife. Am I right? So who's really winning right now?
I'm sure in overall Jeter's winning.
Yeah, exactly.
But he still has had a lot of stress and age 10 years probably rebuilding the Marlins the last couple of years.
But
he did lose Ozuna, Yelich, and Stanton.
That's a good point.
All within about 3 months.
That's rough, and attendance is rough. But I'm just saying, are you truly winning if you have to, switch clothes in a TikTok video with your wife, Jennifer Lopez, all the time? Probably not. You think A-Rod signed up for that? No.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Derek Jeter. Let's go talk about 10-8 round. 10-8 round for Derek Jeter versus A-Rod.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to put that as a poll question.
Take the Jennifer Lopez goggles off for 2 seconds.
No.
Scott with the MVP quote of the day. No.
Scott on the show the last couple of days, ribs, cake, and J-Lo.
Yeah. Hang on 1 second. Let me see who Derek Jeter is. See, now you got me
I think
interested.
she's a supermodel. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Hannah Jeter. Shame on you guys.
I don't think that's her name.
Well, no. I mean, I don't know what her...
that is now. But
yeah. I mean, I type in Derek Jeter wife, I get Hannah Jeter. I don't know what you want me to tell you, Brent. Yeah. It doesn't say her real name.
Speaking of baseball, though, more importantly,
this is baseball. It's fun.
60-game season, expanded playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of dig the expanded playoffs. I like this. I like this best of 3 more than I thought I would.
Okay.
I don't know if it's completely fair. I don't know if it's going to get the best teams in, although it looks like we're shaping that way in the AL. The Cubs are a big loss in the NL, but still, you got the Braves and you got the Dodgers. So I think we're okay, in terms of the teams that there's an upset here or there, but still the teams that were really, really good have advanced. I don't know if the Cubs are in the really, really good category like the Dodgers, right? The Rays were the number 1 seed. They advanced. The Yankees kind of get a second life in the postseason. Houston gets a second life because they don't look good at all in the regular season. They jump in. So I like the 8 playoffs, but it also comes with 60-game season. So this is what I was thinking of today. Ty says this to me.
Okay.
Says, I wish they would just play 60 games.
Oh, Ty.
And do it twice.
Wait, so 60
like 2
games,
seasons? Crown a winner, 60 games, crown a winner. Which they're not going to do.
No.
But the point being, 162 games has been talked about for a long time as being too long.
Yeah.
100-game season, 120-game season, fresher arms, fresher bodies, expanded playoffs. I think a big factor in this is I don't like seeing baseball played on November 3rd when it's 36 degrees in Boston, New York, or Chicago. And you're not going to get that this year because of the bubbles, but you get that a lot of times. And it's freezing rain.
Horrible.
And it's just awful. It's bad to watch. It looks painful.
But here's the thing, though, to break it down. If you gave a kid a stick and a ball in that temperature and told them to go outside and play, are they going to play baseball? You're damn right they are. So, batter up.
Yeah, Brandon, but you're a collegiate player, man. Listen, for my experience, playing in the cold in the league or playing football, it's not that big of a deal, right? Eventually, a couple plays in, you're warmed up, you're ready to go. But, from a baseball perspective, where it's a little more, it's not as so intense, obviously, it's not as physical, and you're just standing out there, how does the cold affect you?
I think it sucked playing in the cold.
Yeah.
I played in the cold all my life, really. I played in 2 inches of snow at Saginaw Valley State. It literally had 2 inches of snow on the ground.
That's not baseball.
By the end of the game. It snowed the whole time.
Yeah.
And we snuck the game in because you got to go back and you can't make it up the next day or whatever.
Sure.
And so you try to do it. But, you played in Wisconsin. Anybody who's played north of North Carolina has experienced what baseball is in the spring up there. And so it stinks. I tell my kids all the time, first of all, it's a blessing to be able to play down here. Everybody who played up north is jealous that you played down here in the sport of baseball, and probably it goes for lacrosse and other sports too. Mm-hmm. But I would, if I had to do it again and I was from around, I would go to a smaller school that I could play at probably in the South than go sit there and play in the cold in the North.
Yeah.
And it's not across the board. It wasn't cold every game we played. Just had a couple of moments like that. But it's cold quite a bit, man.
It doesn't feel like it's not.
You're a bundle. Listen, when you get your uniforms at Ashland University in North Central Ohio, you also, as part of your uniform package, bought a coat, like a winter coat that said Ashland Eagles baseball. That tells the story.
Yeah, there you go. Say no more.
That in a stocking cap. That's part of your uniform.
And hand warmers, too.
And did you wear them on the field?
And mitts.
At times. Not I don't wear the jacket, but you wore a hat. I've played with a stocking cap on.
You can't. With all due respect, you can't do that.
Yeah,
I know that they do that too in the MLB sometimes. Yeah. They have it's like a headband. It seems like
they have
to cover
that
your
now.
ears. Yeah, but that's not baseball.
But basically, we get the same uniform as the ice fishing team.
You have an ice fishing team in Ashland?
I'm just making that up. It just sounded good. But
it did. Sounded
great.
My
point.
Yeah.
That's no fun playing baseball. So that's a little bit of a part of it for me as a baseball guy. I don't like it finishing that late. I think they should shrink the season somehow. Or I would play, if you want to stick with the schedule, I'd play earlier and keep the games down south now that we know this bubble thing and just still end the season earlier. I think you could do that. So that's I think the last part of this really. I think the big part is 162 games too much? We have short attention spans. Major League Baseball gets kind of swallowed up in all the other sports. They're keeping nobody's attention for 8 months. Is this more fun, this March Madness style? So you take that part first. Can we do expanded playoffs? Well, if you do, that's going to back the calendar up so that you got to either create more double headers, you got to eliminate some games, you got to start earlier. Mm-hmm. And so I like this March Madness style kind of format. Mm-hmm. And I think, again, I always say this, kids are used to this format. They're not used to the old formats. Kids that play ball now play in brackets, right? Mm-hmm. When they play video games, they play maybe in brackets, whatever it is. So brackets are cool. That's why March Madness is cool.
Yeah.
Brackets, that's why we want a playoff in college football, because brackets are cool. We like seeing the AFC wildcard picture. Even though it's not this huge bracket, we like to see the bracket. And I think kids like that. I think we like that. I think baseball, I saw it the other day. I saw the bracket up. I was like, hey, the bracket looks kind of cool. There's 16 teams. That looks like a normal bracket.
Yeah, that's not a bad call.
So I like this part of it.
Sure.
The bigger question is, then do you shrink the season? That way.
And I don't like that.
Why?
Because baseball, to me, what made it so special was I going to see Ken Griffey Jr., Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, or Barry Bonds break a home run record? To me, baseball, it's about history. And with history, it's all about statistics. If you shorten the season to 60, 70, 80 games, you lose that history. Now all of a sudden it's different again. And like, to me, like, so for instance, right? So like home runs don't dictate how good of a baseball player you are, right? But I can take a look at like Christian Yelich and be like, well, look at how many home runs he hit last year. That's a good player, right? And I'm afraid that if you take too many games away, then you lose like that comparison. And now it's like I got to do like some extra homework to find out, okay, well, let's see what this guy is doing with what he's working with and stuff like that. So I guess my inner child doesn't want to see it happen. I guess my respect for the statistics and the history of the game doesn't want to see it happen. And I guess just my overall knowledge of who's good, who's bad is going to be deeply affected if it's a shorter season.
I totally appreciate it, and I feel kind of the same way in a lot of respects. I have said before, why are we tinkering with 3 batters you got to pitch to if you're a reliever? Why clocks on the mound? I said, you know what? We could really solve a lot of this problem if we just go to 7-inning games. People are used to 7-inning games. You shrink it from 9 to 7. Sure, the record books would suffer, but wouldn't that solve a lot of problems if you just went to 7-inning games? And people who grow up playing baseball, it's not the norm is 9. It's 7. Like 6 and 7-inning games are what you play as a little leaguer going up through high school and sometimes even in college and sometimes even at the minor league level, depending if you have doubleheaders and stuff. So I think the 7-inning thought is so out there. It's like, oh, man, that's going to damage the record books. And so I appreciate the record book conversation. There's no sport that just loves the record book more than baseball.
And we celebrate that.
We celebrate it. We should celebrate it. We love it. But here's a thought on that. Isn't Major League Baseball kind of blowing up the record book anyway? Isn't the game of baseball kind of skewing the record book anyway? The amount of strikeouts in the game, the amount of home runs in the game, the juiced balls that Major League Baseball has been willing to push into the game. Yeah. Well, you're already fabricating the record books. You're changing them. Just because it says 162, this is a different world. Like, all the record books are changing because of the style of the sport, and for worse or for better. Some people might say, hey, the game's much better now. It's the way it should be played. You're hitting bombs, and people love to see it. I read a stat today. Here's a stat from Ken Rosenthal, and this was like, whoa. It's like, so far in the playoffs, 39% of plate appearances have ended in one of 3 true outcomes. A walk, a strikeout, or a home run. 39% of at-bats end in a walk, a home run, or a strikeout.
That's crazy.
My response to that was, why don't we just go to the old backyard theory and go one-on-one with an automatic quarterback? Remember that when you played that in football?
Yeah.
We'll just do one-on-one with an automatic catcher. Yeah. Like, do you even need fielders anymore? Mm-hmm. And that's obviously dramatic. But that shows you how much the game has changed, right? The game has changed strategically. Yeah. This is all about long ball versus how much spin rate, how fast you throw. We are seeing the game so far change, like so drastically, that do the record books even matter because they're all changing anyway?
See, I get what you're saying, Brent, but like I appreciate the record books. More specifically, I appreciate the record books in baseball, right? Like, I can sit here and say, Dan Marino, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. You know, Brett Favre, one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. All these things. I don't really know their stats. I don't know like where they rank on like in terms of touchdown pass. I know Drew Brees has the record now. I think Tom Brady's close to that, and Peyton Manning's up there as well. But like to me, like listen, I know Pete Rose is the hit leader of all time. Now I don't know Pete Rose obviously as a baseball player. I think Ty Cobb's second. Like I never got to watch Ty Cobb really. I don't know who Ty Cobb is, but thanks to that record because it's so big in baseball, it's getting a hit. Obviously now maybe it's more about home runs and actually just getting a single or double. But like I know those guys because of those records. I don't want those guys to go away because now we're changing the stats and the records with a shortened season.
Yeah, I think it's I'm very sensitive to that point. Like I've always thought that. I've believed in that. But my kid told me today, and he's a huge baseball guy, and he's 15 years old, and he's a young generation, and that's what the future of this game is about. I know. And that's the future that Major League Baseball has done an awful job with. And you know what he told me? He said, I like this short season.
Yeah.
I like the 60 games. He will watch baseball all day, all night for 12 months out of the year.
Yeah.
But he said, I like the short season. And I'll tell you, I like, and I think more people like this March Madness style playoffs. Well, what do you have to do to get to that? And I don't know what the regular season number is. Keep in mind, it used to be 154. We went to 162. If you drop back to 140, would it really change? Heck, it might even up the record books. Yeah. I mean, with the amount of home runs being hit. So, I really believe if we're being honest with ourselves, when they allowed the steroid era to take place, the fact that they didn't erase those records that were made, McGuire's, the Bonds, whatever else, that was maybe the most sacred record in all of sports, the home run record. And Major League Baseball said, we don't care. We'll turn our cheek. If you want to do drugs and hit home runs, that's fine.
Yeah.
And so when they did that, they showed no respect, in my opinion, for the record books. It wasn't as sacred as we as fans all felt it was. Major League Baseball allowed that to happen. Well, now it's time to cater to the fans again, the future of your sport. And the future of your sport is obviously home runs. Chicks dig the long ball. Kids like watching these. Heck, I like watching these guys hit home runs. You're not playing the same game anymore. That's fact. Again, we can argue whether it's good or bad, but it's fact. So if you're going to do that, acknowledge that 162 is irrelevant now too.
Sure.
Because nobody's paying attention for 162. Yeah. People are getting hurt for 162. The quality of ball might not be as good for 162. And so limit the amount of games. Have more playoffs because we love playoffs. The intensity is up. Attendance will be good. Viewership's better in postseason play in any sport. And I'm not saying dismiss the record books. You're always on to the past in this great game.
Have to.
But nothing is relevant to the past anymore. This is a game that didn't change for a long, long time. Yeah. It might change here or there with a trend, but the game never has changed before in the history of 100 and whatever years, as much as it's changed, quite frankly, in the last 10 years.
And to be fair, if you keep on, I guess, living in the past, how's that going to affect the game, right? Like at least I think that the game needs some changing, right? That the game needs to be freshened up, personalities need to show through, and players need to be showcased, right? And if this is a way to showcase that, then so be it. Because at the end of the day, and you said it perfectly, this isn't about what I think. It's not really about what you think. This is for the next generation of baseball fans. And at the end of the day, whether you go 62 games in a season, whether you go 162, whether you go 80, it doesn't really matter because guess what? I say I'm going to hate it, and I'm going to be the old guy on the lawn saying, get off my lawn and all that good stuff. And I'm going to say, well, I can't believe they're doing this. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to watch my Brewers. I'm still going to tune in opening day, still going to cheer them on regardless of how many games it's going to be. So I'm not going anywhere. Maybe I'd have some opinions about it, but I'm still going to tune in. At the end of the day, that's what they need. They need the current baseball fan to still tune in, and they need the next generation to say, you know what, this is better than it was before.
It's a really good point. We as people who knew the game, whatever it was, or had fallen in love with that, will adapt.
Yeah.
The more important thing here for the sport is, will the younger generation help grow it?
Correct.
So you have to appease that generation to some degree.
Yeah.
That's why we now don't mind bat flips. That's why we like Fernando Tatis, where, quite frankly, 10 years ago, we would have hit the guy in the dome. Probably twice.
Sure.
So we don't do it anymore.
Because baseball needs guys like that.
They need them. And, they still have a lot of work to do on their end, but they now have some of that kind of player, so a marketable player, transcendent potentially if they do it the right way.
Dare we call it the attitude era?
I mean,
like it.
It could be in baseball. I mean, along with the home run era.
Yeah.
Once again. So anyway, some thoughts on baseball. Meanwhile, enjoy the playoffs.
Yeah, that
the
was
Cubs
very
lose?
therapeutic conversation, Brent. Thanks for bringing that up, man.
Is the game over?
Hang on. Let's get the horn ready in case they are.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
Yes.
Is it over?
That's it.
That's it?
Kipnis. Ha! Choked. Bums. Bunch of bums in Chicago. Thanks for coming, Miami. Good luck to you, Derek Jeter. Way better than Alex Rodriguez. You keep winning, Derek Jeter. Nicely done, sir.
I respect that a lot, and I hope there's a moment on the show I can do that about the Yankees in the coming days.
I know. It's therapeutic once again.
It would be
feels
very therapeutic.
Oh, best Friday ever, man. You know what? This pandemic's been a lot of stuff going wrong, right, man? I mean, there's just so much going on right now. Democrat, Republican, all this stuff. But you know what? The Cubs still suck. And at the end of the day, I can always celebrate that. So it's not so bad.
Sorry, Kaylee Brooks. Sorry, Ben Williams, my roommate from college. He'll be so mad to hear the Cubs. I'm not endorsing it. That's Austin Lane, but you can go fight him in a cage.
Welcome,
if you want.
Welcome to the bottom half with Milwaukee Brewers, man. We all float down here. Enjoy.
All right, we better take a break so we can come back and finish up a week here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We do it with some football talk and one final thought right after this on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Fair to partly cloudy and nice tonight, dropping to 55 to 60 degrees. Increasing cloudiness for Saturday, with highs in the upper 70s and showers developing Saturday night. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burritt.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss Beard's BOGO Wedding Band Sale October 10th through the 18th.
We saved big money with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and used the cash to take a family vacation.
To Hawaii.
Who's up for a luau?
Yay!
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough to go to Hawaii. They'll probably use it for things like the mortgage and groceries, or even a travel magazine, so at least they can see pictures of Hawaii.
Aloha!
Yes, say hello to those beautiful Hawaiian beaches in that magazine. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
College football, it's the game you wake up early on Saturdays for, even though kickoff isn't until 7. The game where the Goodyear blimp becomes a Hall of Famer. The game that goes just beyond school, spirit, fandom, or love of the sport. It's the game where the comebacks happen. It's the game where anything can and will happen, as long as you have the drive. Because college football is the game that moves you. We get it because it moves us too. Goodyear, more driven.
The ride you want, the savings you need. Oh, and when it comes to credit approval, almost everyone gets approved. Sounds like it's time to get it all and get to Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Finding the best ride starts with big-time selection. And at Arlington Toyota, you'll find over 750 new and pre-owned on the lot every day. Right now at Arlington, shop over 100 quality pre-owned cars to buy at $0 down and just $199 a month. Looking for a truck or SUV? Arlington's got 50 quality pre-owned trucks and SUVs to buy at $0 down and $269 a month. With Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. Now, when I say get it all at Arlington, I mean it, because you'll get a 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Just another way that Arlington goes the extra mile for you. Get it all when you shop pre-owned at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
It's a busy time right now as the kids head back to school. COVID-19 is still lingering and flu season is right around the corner. Clean air and home comfort have never been more important. Clean air equals healthier air. Your friends at Bold City Heating and Air offer duct sanitation and air purification, meaning not only will your Bold City Heating and Air be chilly cold, but also free of any microbacteria or nasty viruses that may try to make your home their home. Never fear what you can't see again. For only $499, a Bold City Heating and Air sanitation and purification package will give you peace of mind knowing your family is breathing fresh, clean air. Let the team at Bold City Heating and Air take care of your air and comfort. Be bold with COVID and flu season and sanitize your ducts for only $499. Simply with a call to Bold City Heating and Air at 904-379-1648. That's 904-379-1648. Or visit boldcityac.com. Bold City Heating and Air. Be bold and stay cold.
Hey, boss, don't you just love this time of year? No. Come on, the weather's changing, football season's here.
I don't like anything in 2020, okay?
Fair enough, but Halloween will be here before you know it.
True. That's always a good night for us crooks. Nobody gives a second look to our disguises.
Yup, all we gotta do is make sure we pick houses without Safe Touch security and we're golden.
Just mentioning Safe Touch security puts me in a foul mood.
I know, all those houses off limits to us crooks because of Safe Touch.
Yeah, they got their 45-second response time, the two-way communicator.
No freedom-loving crook messes with a Safe Touch house.
Exactly. It's why we stick to the Crooks Are Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Hey, now there's one thing that's not upside down this year.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number LVA 4188.
WFOX Fox 30 has been removed from the service of Dish Network after the satellite provider refused to agree to a fair deal for a new retransmission consent agreement with Cox Media Group. If you're affected by this decision to deprive you of important local news and to watch your favorite teams at the start of football season, then make your voice heard. Call Dish today at 1-800-333-3474 and demand they put Fox 30 back on Dish.
Hey everybody. This is Brent Martineau. If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, we appreciate it. But your boss says you're working from home this week, so take us with you. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
Hey, I'm Jay DeMarcus from Rascal Flats, and this is Action Sports Jags.
Dodgers 3, Milwaukee nothing. Gratterall on in relief of Kershaw. The pitch to Ben Gamel. He swings and a fly ball to left field. Taylor is there. He's got it, and the Dodgers 2 wins down. 11 to go in search of the elusive 1988 curse. They just want to get rid of it once and for all. The first step, they eliminated the Brewers tonight.
That's old Charlie Steiner.
Oh, yeah?
The look, though.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't.
If you tuned into the stream, you saw the look as he turns into the camera.
Is this your doing?
That was not me.
You couldn't resist, could you? You couldn't resist.
Scott, did I?
That was all me.
1:30 in the morning last night I was up to again, watching that late game. And that's how you doing me. Okay.
Sorry, Ben Gamble.
Okay. I'm sorry. It was one of the highlights that was featured, and it was like a nice game wrap. So
a highlight for who? Not me, certainly.
Not for Ben Gamble.
No.
From here in Jacksonville.
If it helps at all, Coos sent it to me.
I bet he did.
That was Charlie Steiner.
I'm over it, man.
Charlie Steiner, man, he's still doing it. He used to do the Yankees.
Legend.
Gosh, I don't have to listen to him on the Yankees anymore.
Oof.
Hated all those Yankee guys.
Yeah.
I was in Albany, New York, and I saw you listen to.
I like Charlie Steiner, though. I mean,
Steiner's
he's like the typical New York guy, it seems like.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. But not announcing the Yankees, obviously.
Nah.
Yeah. Who do the Sox have?
Steiner's low-key.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the Red Sox are having now. If they still have
announcers, they don't do that. What are they?
I haven't listened to a Red Sox game on the radio in forever.
Oh, that's the best thing, man. Like you put on the TV and you listen to the radio. That's what I used to do, at least.
I mean, I used to. I'm just saying I haven't.
There's not much
I'm not buying whatever you got to buy to listen to the games.
Yeah.
Is Joe Castiglione still? Is he retired? Gone? I don't even know.
I mean, that's just a name you threw at me. It doesn't mean anything to me, man. I'm sorry. All I know is Milwaukee's rocking with Bob Uecker. Can't go wrong with that.
I hesitate to say anybody's name because I just don't know if they're. So yeah, Joe Castiglione.
Cool.
It says is an American radio announcer for the Red Sox, so he must still be.
Currently, yeah. It's not was, it's is. I like it.
So there you go. There's also a Joe Castiglione who is an athletic director.
Okay.
At University of Oklahoma.
Okay. Is there any more that owns like an Italian restaurant? Because it sounds like his last name sounds like an Italian restaurant. I don't want to be mean, but it does.
Well, it's not mean. I'd probably
Colignone's. Yeah.
Probably have some good lasagna.
Absolutely.
At the Castiglione's house.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I was thinking of this. You guys can help me out, okay? So this has been like this hasn't been, if I'm being completely honest, this was not my favorite week. Like 2020 has been not a great year for a lot of folks. Like this year's been weird. It's been odd. It's like I'm not going to over dramatize and say it's been a bad year.
Okay.
This past week, not a fan of this week. Nothing like catastrophic, like people sick or anything like that.
It's a safe space here, Brent. So
yeah, just been. Sometimes this business gets you going. Sometimes it's like you get frustrated or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it at that. But for a variety, or just sometimes I'll work myself up.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's actually like the crash because like for the last month we've been like go, and now we launched all our shows and now we kind of settle into like a regular rhythm of the football season.
Yeah, you guys are killing it with the high school football too.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys are crushing it.
All this stuff, it's just go, and then you stop, and so it's kind of like, all right, I feel like I should be doing something more than I'm doing. You get a little one of those feelings.
Sure.
So the combination of all. And so I'm thinking late last night on it because I'm kind of like pissed off at the latest thing.
Hang on, I'm going to lean back a little bit. I'm really going to take this conversation in here. I'm going to help you out.
Yeah, you guys would be good with this, I think.
Yeah, what do you got, man?
And so I said, there was like a song on the radio at the time, or maybe I had it like on my iPod. Maybe it was like a little Brett Eldridge or something, his new album.
Sure.
And so I was listening to the song. I was like, it's kind of a good song. It's kind of a reflective song.
Sure.
Right. And so I said, I wonder what other like songs would get me out of thinking like I'm in a pissy mood.
Absolutely.
I didn't really come up with a lot. But so I was kind of wondering. I was like, Is there music?
Hold on. Is this music talk right now?
Yeah.
We're doing music talk right now on ESPN 690?
If you say it, I might stop it.
Okay, sorry. John, call in. John Bachman. We're talking music, dude. Come in. The pool's fine. Let's go.
So
water feels good.
So I was kind of thinking there's twofold, right? It's like, what songs do you, if you're like kind of in like a, not like a down in the dumps mood, more like kind of like ticked off at every little thing that goes on mood. And so I was like, what songs kind of like will you play or to kind of get you out of that funk?
Yeah.
Because there's two different styles here, right? You can go like up, give me something upbeat, get me like whatever, like I don't know, something that you listen to at the gym.
Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Go on.
I'm bad at examples here.
Old school Taylor Swift, but yes.
Or is it
Shake
more
it off.
like, for me, I found it was more like these reflective songs, more like get you thinking about home.
I mean,
or
you're
get you thinking
speaking about language right now,
it's
man.
more like that. Like, you like this drop, like a Humble and Kind from Tim McGraw or something.
Sure. No, not the
Hey, get a Tim McGraw
reference. It's been too long, Brent. It's been too long, Brent,
made me feel
since
good.
we've got a Tim McGraw reference on this show. Shout out to Tim McGraw.
So I just wondered, like, what is it?
It's a good call, man.
Is there a song?
Well,
Like, is it a genre? Is it a style?
So keep in mind, I mean, I wrote a paper about this in college.
Get out of here.
Music perception. Come on now. Yeah, so with music perception and kind of like with music theory, there's a couple ways to go about this, right? So obviously, if you're kind of in a bad mood or a sad mood, like for instance, let me share my example real quick. So when I got cut from the Jacksonville Jaguars, obviously I didn't see it coming, right? And it was one of the most probably traumatic and hardest experiences in my life at the time. Now, I look back on it, it's like, dude, that's just life. Like, everyone loses their job. Everyone gets, fired from something probably. So in reflection, it's not that big of a deal. But at the time, I was like in like anxiety mode. Like, I didn't know what to do. I remember I went out to my truck and I was crying on the steering wheel. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, it was horrible. And I got back to my apartment right after that. And first I called my mom, said, Mom, what happened? And she said, it's going to be okay and all that, mom stuff. But like, to be fair, I still didn't feel like, good about the situation. So I put on my headphones, my $500 Beats by Dre headphones that I spent way too much money. They lasted me a year and that was it. Trash headphones, by the way. Sorry, Dr. Dre, but
for $500?
$500, man. Yeah. I went above and beyond. I put Pink Floyd and I put The Dark Side of the Moon in. And for a couple reasons. Number one, the last thing I wanted to hear was some kind of upbeat song to get me motivated, because I wasn't in a being motivated kind of mood. I was in a mood that I needed to sit back a little bit. I needed to evaluate, and you know what? I just kind of need to get lost a little bit. So that was the beauty, at least in my opinion, with Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, one of my favorite albums of all time, where to me it's not even an album. It's a 45, 46-minute piece of art, because you don't know where it starts and when it stops. Like most songs, it stops. No, the song, the whole album it's one giant song. So I closed my eyes for 45 minutes, didn't fall asleep. I just took some deep breaths, listened to the music, and when I was done after those 45 minutes, I was a new person, and I was ready to take on the day again. So for me, I need more of inward thinking music, more somber, more melancholy music, as opposed to the like the 120 beats per minute, like in your face, let's get it ready to go. No, you need something more somber.
So you did an actual paper on this?
Yeah, so my paper was a lot about music perception. And one of the things I talked about here, the research I did, is like usually when songs need to comfort us, we go back to when times were different. Mostly those times being childhood memories.
Mm-hmm. See, that's where I was reflective songs.
Exactly. So usually reflective songs are a big thing. And it could be like in our subconscious where we don't even recognize it until we hear it. Right? But, oh, Scott, here we go, man, right? I'm going back to the couch now, shutting my eyes out. Can't wait.
Thought for sure he's bringing in Tim McGraw here.
Oh, no, he should have. Maybe that one's coming next. But at the end of the day, listen.
Tim McGraw, Pink Floyd, no contest.
But listen, like the beauty with music, though, whether we know it or not, is that it can take us back to a better time. So if you find those songs that you either consciously or subconsciously can relate to back in your youth when times were good, those can get you through a lot of things.
Yeah. I think, you're right. It's like more the subconscious ones that you're like, okay, kind of wandering back. All right, so there it is. So I would think that's probably the answer, more the reflective songs.
Reflective songs,
I was thinking of that, though. I was like, I wonder what the style, I wonder if am I just doing that, or most people do that, or
Yeah.
You want to go bang your head against the wall and listen to Rage Against the Machine.
Well, and listen, and some people, that's what it takes as well, though. And like to prove that point, also in my paper, I talked about the power of concerts, right? So you mentioned Rage Against the Machine, right? It's a very upbeat, in-your-face, very lyrical type of music. Well, let's say you're an 8 to 5 businessman, right? And then also you listen to Rage Against the Machine. Obviously, you want to you're leaving work, boss is all over you, and you're just slamming the horn. I'm out of here for the weekend. See you guys later. But keep in mind, that guy still has a perception of, he's a businessman. He's maybe a family man. But then let's take that and let's go to a concert with that, right? Where if you're at a concert, at a Rage Against the Machine concert, and you're around your peers that enjoy that same type of music, you could be inclined to get in a mosh pit. Now, if you're at the concert by yourself, you would never get in a mosh pit. You would never push people. You're a businessman. You wear a suit and tie every single day. You would never push people and things like that. But at the same time, if you're around a bunch of people who share your passion with that music, now you're more inclined to act kind of out of nature a little bit, a little more animalistic, and get in a mosh pit.
Well, there you go. I mean, hope you got an A on that paper.
I did, man. 45 pages.
45 pages?
It was my senior paper.
Woo, baby.
Yeah.
That was good. I liked it. What
Thanks,
a great
man.
topic.
Yeah.
Man, that's really bookended the last couple of shows.
Yeah.
From ribs and golf to music. Didn't even know you were going to bring that.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to bring that either,
preparation.
Man. No preparation, improv, baby.
I mean, we're just here for you.
Yeah.
How about one last thing? How about give me one thing? What you got on the weekend?
Oh, man, give one thing. You know what? My son starts basketball this Sunday. So he's got
those new kicks.
Oh, yeah, the Giannis's. Yeah, we'll see. I hope he doesn't, push somebody or headbutt somebody like he did against, I think it was the Magic. So we're starting basketball. Really excited for that. We had T-ball before. It went okay.
So you've done T-ball and now basketball. You've done soccer?
Yeah, we did soccer first, then T-ball, now we're on to basketball. It's kind of like a 3-week thing for every sport because, he's only 5.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, so you got a little bit of each. Did he like the other two or no?
Soccer went really good. I think baseball is a little bit too slow for him right now because you're hitting a tee, you have to get used to that. I think we're super excited, though, for basketball.
Where does video gaming fit in the esports fit in the 3-week
I mean, that's
trial?
That's more of when it's not wrestling, then it's esports. So go ahead and ask my wife about that one and see how she feels about it.
You guys locked into WWE tonight on Fox 30.
We're going to be watching the aftermath now, right? Obviously, Roman Reigns still champion, the aftermath. I mean, the guy turned heel, Brent. Who saw that coming? So we got that, and maybe Retribution comes back as well. You excited for that?
No.
Yeah.
Honest question, honest answer.
Yeah, not at all. I would say I'm more excited to watch some more baseball playoffs.
Sure. Hey, to each their own, bro.
One thing this weekend, I am looking forward to which team comes out for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Kind of, with one eye open.
Yeah.
So the Jags and Bengals will go 1 o'clock on CBS 47. So we'll see what happens with them. You have a good feeling? You do because you picked them.
Yeah, I do. Listen, this is the last chance for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have to show me that the team that we saw the first 2 weeks that's who you guys are. And that Dolphins game was a fluke. If they come out, if they lay an egg against a very depleted right now defensive line, the Cincinnati Bengals, and against a rookie quarterback, then you are who we thought you were in terms of a couple years ago. And I don't want to go back to there, but hey, it is what it is.
We'll see what happens with the Jags. What you got going on, Scott? Appreciate you jumping in for a couple of days here for Coos.
I'm looking forward to the fights this weekend. I've got an opportunity to see Carlos Condit stepping back in the ring, and I haven't seen the Natural Born Killer in a hot minute.
The Natural Born Killer's back. I didn't know he's coming back.
Yeah. He's got a fight against Court McGee.
Yeah.
And Court McGee is favored in this, which
interesting.
I can't.
There's an age discrepancy though, Scott.
I can't get my head around it, but I can look at the fight history stats and I can see where they're going with that.
I'm just saying, Brent. Monday, if you have to take a little vacation, a little family time, go ahead and do that. Me and Scott will take over. We'll talk UFC and the Jaguars as well.
Okay,
but just let you know.
But
I'll let you know. How depends how the Jags do.
The other fight I'm looking forward to is Jermaine Radnay.
Yep.
Against Julianne Pena.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
That's anything could happen fight. No real preference on the odds on that one. Pena's a hell of a striker. Radmayne's got a lot to prove to reclaim her ranking. So that could go anywhere, and I'm looking forward to that tomorrow night.
Well, keep in mind, she just fought Aspen Ladd and absolutely KO'd her. And you don't really see that a lot in women fighting, just a clean KO. Yeah, drained her randomly. They call her the Iron Lady, by the way. 5'9", 135. Yeah, she brings it. Check her out.
Still got no golf to talk about.
I mean, is there some kind of like senior division we can talk about? I feel bad, man. We talked wrestling today.
No
Seriously?
Golf would be way more fun if you could hit them with the sticks.
Well, some spouses do.
This is improv, by the way. We didn't plan that one.
Somewhere out there, Tiger just wins.
Dude, that was good, man. That was good.
Give me one thing is both kids are in action. I complained about this on Twitter today.
Okay.
How about we're in a 19-team tournament?
19?
Yeah, which is whatever. I
mean,
it's
a lot of teams, I feel like, but okay.
So 19-team tournament.
Okay.
First tournament in a while, actually. I think it is for time. Maybe you had one rained out. And so his team's played it, supposed to. Now, I think everything got bumped. Apparently, it rained like down in Fort Pierce.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's actually going the way it planned.
Okay.
But it was planned for 8 and 10:30 tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Well, then you don't play again. The earliest you play, if you're in the consolation round, you don't make the top 7.
Well,
it's 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right? So you drive back if you want and go back down.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Or you play at like 3:30.
Yeah.
But you could play, if you're the last 2 teams, you could play at 6.
Sure.
So you could play at 8, 10:30, and 6 the next night.
Yeah. But here's the thing,
What are we doing?
Here's the thing, though, Brent.
For the consolation game.
Here's the thing, though. We're shaping young minds, right? So there is no consolations in life, so don't go to the consolation game. Okay?
Right.
Either you win or you lose. There's no consolation in life.
I would actually change in baseball and softball to, I wouldn't say consolation game, I would say get more at bat game.
I like that. Get more at bat. Okay. I see that. I see that point.
Get more at bats. Because that's what it's all about.
All I'm going to say is help me if Ronan never goes in the baseball route, because that's a full plate of baseball right there in softball for you.
Yeah, it's a good amount of baseball. I say this
just give me football. Just give me one game.
Baseball's the one that gets talked about the most.
Yeah. But basketball, AAU and stuff.
They're all like it.
Football, though, too.
And if you don't want to admit it, dance is like it. Cheerleading is like it. Volleyball is like it.
Well, Ronan, get out that French horn.
Football is like it.
Get out that French horn. We're going to be a band nerd. Let's do it. We're going to play an orchestra when they call Jason Pitts. I'm sure there's concerts and stuff you got to go to.
Yeah, but maybe you don't have to travel 3 hours to the concert. Play at 8 in the morning and then play at 6 the next night.
No, probably not. One concert, you're in and you're out. Let's watch some football.
You can play all the way home.
Hey, you know what? There's no consolation concerts either. I should know.
That's true. Good luck in your fantasy football leagues with all your picks, and if your kids are playing sports, how about that?
I like that, man.
Playing the trombone, saxophone, whatever.
Thanks, Brent.
And have a good Friday night. We'll see you tonight on the Friday Night Blitz and the Blitz Scoreboard Show. That starts at 9 o'clock, again, just on social media this time around, because we have the NBA Finals coming up on ESPN 690. Live, local, loud coming up right after us. We'll see you on TV, CBS 47 and Fox 30. As the seasons change, there's one thing that never changes: the importance of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 90